passes over storms. The April morning is clean and new, but a breeze has brought the thought of you. Looking out into a sea of green, thinking on the years and miles that lie between. It seems so long ago, but you're still on my mind, you know. I sat down by the riverside, fearing I could drink it dry and still not be satisfied, satisfied. The banks are full with all this rain, and if they'll overflow, I can't say. The crickets calling in the firelight, and a long and gentle sleep tonight. Looking out into a sea of green, thinking on the years and miles that lie between. It seems so long ago, but you're still on my mind. Yeah, you're still on my mind, you know. You know. Still on my mind, you know.
Let me tell you about my angel, the one you never see, my everyday companion, living deep inside of me. She guides me through.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, how you doing all?
Welcome. Welcome back.
Another Inside Live with Alice and Freebo. And I know who I am, and that's Alice, so
That's right.
why don't we start some music? What do you say, Alice?
Good idea.
What do you got?
I got a new song. This is called Travelin' Soul. I am a traveling soul with a brand new set of wheels. They ask me how I do it. I said I like the way it feels. This is the life I chose, seeking truth along this road. Well, it's easy to be running, but so hard to stay behind. I have to keep in motion to ease my worried mind. I am a traveling soul, seeking truth along this road. It's the same old too late and old moon above, a world of contradictions and the longing to be loved. I am a traveling soul, seeking truth along this road. Well, the towns that pass my windows, they all start to look the same. They're overrun by corporate greed, disguised as household names. I am a traveling soul, seeking truth along this road. It's a bitter pill to swallow. The country that you love has a history of violence that is written out in blood. I am a traveling soul, seeking truth along this road. Well, it's the same old two-lane highway and the same old moon above. We're a world of contradictions, but we're longing to be loved. I am a traveling soul, seeking truth along this road. I could drive all night on this brand new set of wheels. They ask me how I do it. I said I like the way it feels. This is the life I chose, seeking truth along this road. It's the same old two-lane highway and the same old moon above. I'm a world of contradictions, but I'm longing to be loved. I am a traveling soul, seeking truth along this road. I am a traveling soul, seeking truth along this road.
You are a traveling soul, Alice.
Thank you, Freebo.
Aren't we all, when you really think about it?
Thanks, everybody. So nice to see many of you on here, watching on Facebook and YouTube. Thank you all for being here. And if you're listening to the rebroadcast of our show on WPVM FM in Asheville, North Carolina, thank you for listening. Who is our guest tonight, Freebo?
Oh, we've got a wonderful guest. I mean, not that all our guests aren't wonderful, but this is a very special human being, a wonderful, wonderful singer, great songwriter, teacher, very evolved soul. A friend of mine that I met back in Kerrville, I believe, in 2002. And
that's where I met her, too.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Not in 2002.
No, I wasn't born yet then.
Yeah, and her name is AMY SPEACE.
AMY SPEACE.
And Amy's got a new record coming out. She'll tell you all about it, but let's bring her in.
Can't wait. Hey,
Hey,
Amy.
guys.
Hey.
Amy, how you doing?
I met you, Freebo, in the Folk Alliance hallways, and I didn't make it to Kerrville until 2006.
Well, I'm wrong then, aren't I?
You are totally wrong.
Oh,
Set
my
'em
God.
straight.
I just remember you, but I think you're right. In the hallways, of course, you're the only person that I met in those hallways.
Well, absolutely. I mean, but you're kind of unmistakable. So I remembered you. I also have a weird memory. But Kerrville 2006, that's when I was in the contest.
2006. Uh-huh.
And then
Wow.
first time I got there.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
cool.
Amazing place, Kerrville, isn't it?
It's stinky and muddy, and I love it.
I know. I miss that stinky, muddy love.
I know. I think I've been there every year except for 2 since 2006. So either
Yeah,
playing or
remember-
teaching.
hearing you. I believe it was 2 years ago now. That's where I remember meeting you, Amy, and your song about. I don't know the title of the song, but it's about the ginger ale and Lorna Doons.
Yes, the abortion song.
Yes, exactly.
It's the cheery abortion song.
Oh.
It really is.
Is it pro or anti or a little bit of both?
It's neither. It's just a picture of a woman on her way to an abortion clinic getting an abortion.
Which is, it's so cool about it, the way you frame it, and it just, it stayed with me till this very day.
Thank you.
We're so happy to have you here, and
really great
can't wait to hear
you.
your music
Thank
tonight.
you.
And
thanks for having me,
play
guys.
us a song? Yeah,
I would love to. I'm going to play the title track to the new record that comes out in April, because this song is about
great. Somebody already asked for it, I want to tell you.
Oh, for this song? Cool.
Yes.
So, since I'm doing mic funny things, just let me know if you can hear everything.
Yeah.
There used to be horses here, where the grass was left to grow wild, behind the white picket fence that seemed to go on for a mile. There used to be horses here, on the way up Yellow Springs Road, beautiful amber maze, with the sun gleaming off of their coats. And I wanted to see them that day in October, running fast up the hill to the sky. I wanted to see them in perfect formation one more time, one more time. There used to be horses here. My father knew the owner from church. They've torn down the old brick house. Now there's just a big hole in the earth. And I wanted to see them that day in October, running fast up the hill to the sky. I wanted to see them in perfect formation one more time, one more time. To be horses here when Dad had his house in the trees, wherever they took them. Well, I hope it's a place they run free. And I wanted to see them that day in October, running fast up the hill to the sky. I wanted to see them in perfect formation one more time. Oh, I came back to see him so I could remember the faded blue of his eyes. I wanted to see him fly off to forever one more time, one more time, one more time. There used to be horses here. One more time. Used to be horses here.
Beautiful, Amy.
Thank you.
I'd love to hear about where that song came from. The title track of your record, right?
Yeah, I had already had the record all written and ready to go, and I was touring in England. Actually, this time last year was my last real tour. And I knew I was coming home. When I came home from England, I was going into the studio for 3 days to record this record with a band called the Orphan Brigade. And I had all the songs, and I didn't know what the record was going to be called.
And my father passed away October 2019 of pancreatic cancer. So all the songs were written in the span of time between my son's birth, or my son's first year, really, and then my dad's death. So it was a 1 year period. And so when I was in England and I was touring, honestly, I was thinking about the drive up to my parents' house. My mom lives in Frederick, Maryland, which used to be very rural. It's about 45 minutes outside of DC, outside of Baltimore. It used to be very rural. When I was a kid in Maryland, we called it Fredneck. It's where all the farmers live. And my parents had a 10-acre plot of land in the woods with an old log cabin that they lived in. It was their dream house. And we would drive up Yellow Springs Road to get to my parents' house that was way up in the mountains. And when I was going back when my dad was sick, I noticed that, there was this farm on the way up on the left as you'd go past. It was gorgeous, and white picket fences and quarter horses. Just, I always dreamed that I would live near that farm. And when I was going up for my dad's, when my dad was sick, I know they were digging that place up and the horses were gone. They were putting condos up there. And so when I was in England, I was talking to my mother about that farm and what happened to it. And then just one night, honestly, usually songs take me a long time to write. This one took me about a half hour. And I remember racking my brain, does this thing need a bridge? Does it need a bridge? And then I just left
myself that all the time.
All the time. Like, is it done? Is it really done? And the day I wrote it, I decided I would get up on stage and play it. And I got up on stage and played it. And somebody recorded it and sent it to somebody at home. And Nielsen, my producer, called me and he said, well, I think you just wrote your title track. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it was
just that first line is so evocative. It's like, I could see it as the first line of a novel. It's just one of those lines. It opens up the scene.
It's interesting too, because there's so many ways of saying a similar thing. We talk about Joni Mitchell put up a parking lot, and Jack Williams high cotton, and just the metaphor that you chose for the very similar thing.
But I'm also
really
thinking with your father, and he used to be here, and that the loss of the person too. And I just
the whole song is about my dad. Right. I just use the metaphor of the horses. Yeah. But yeah, it just it was like a gift from the sky. That rarely happens. So yeah.
Cool.
Really nice.
Thank you.
Congrats on the record, and I know that folks are already aware of it, many of you that are watching, but you can go to Amy's website to pre-order it, right?
Yeah, you can pre-order it now. It's coming out April 30th on Proper Records, but you can pre-order it and get it the week before it releases.
Ooh,
yeah, tell us a little bit more about it. I mean, is it one of those song cycle type of records, or just songs in different places? And
all of my records have I've put every single record I've ever made is like a short story cycle. That's what I think of them as. I mean, even though nobody cares about records anymore, I believe that they do.
I do.
Because I do. And I don't listen to singles. I listen to albums, like old school. Yeah. I want to know, and it's really important to me what the first song is and what the middle song is and how the artist chooses to end the record. So I'm really intentional about placement of songs based on the arc of the story. And the arc of the story, in terms of the songwriting, was the song 1 Year, which is me rocking my son on my porch around the time he turned 1, and 2, this song, which is, when my dad had died. And then so what I knew that was going to be the record. I also knew that I wanted to do it with this band, the Orphan Brigade, because I love those guys. I love their sound. They have a very Van Morrison Astral Weeks sound to them. And actually, we decided that we would I'd been producing a lot of records, and so rather than just have Nielsen be at the wheel, since I had such a strong idea for this record, Orphan Brigade and me produced it, and all we had to do was put us in a room with Johnny Duke on guitar and one other guy, our piano player, and we just played it live. And it took us 4 days. I went to California, came back, there was a tornado, and then there was a pandemic, and I was really grateful that.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I had
Thank
recorded
God
it.
You did it already. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's a record about grief, written and recorded in a whole lot of chaos, and it ends up having a lot of hope in it. So it's not a sad record.
Oh, that's great. That's wonderful.
Cool.
Yeah.
Wow. And where's the band out of? They out of Nashville or?
Yeah, they're 3 guys out of Nashville. And Nielsen Hubbard, my longtime producer, who's a great songwriter, is one of them. Joshua Britt, who was in the band The Farewell Drifters, which is a big bluegrass band, he's the second. And Ben Glover, who actually was originally from Northern Ireland and now lives in Nashville, is the third. And they've put out a bunch of records that are just gorgeous. And I love their sound. And I had this idea that I wanted to do a record that would be like me and the Orphan Brigade completely orchestrated, like a Nelson Riddle record. And then I basically took the record when it was done and I took it to my orchestrator and I said, please Randy Newman this stuff. And he orchestrated it, so it's orchestra underneath this very acoustic driving thing. Yeah, I'm really proud of it.
Oh, I can't wait to hear it.
Yeah, me too. Cool.
Beautiful.
Well, Freebo, do you want to play a song for us?
I'd love to play a song. And I think it's one I think you could relate to, Amy. Let me take off my headphones here so I can hear what the hell I'm doing. Here I am with these 2 women with the 2 of the most gorgeous voices in the whole world, but I'll do my best, folks. I ain't running no more, I ain't walking out the door. I ain't running no more. I ain't running no more like so many times before. I ain't running no more. I was caught in my confusion and illusion of my own, paralyzed and staring at the floor. Could have used a helping hand, 'cause I couldn't understand what all the fight and suffering was for. I ain't running no more, I ain't walking out the door. I ain't running no more. I ain't running no more like so many times before. I ain't running no more. I was running on empty, I was running against the wind. No confronting, I was running out the door. Felt ashamed and I was blaming, just the victim of my own. Now I'm done and I ain't running no more. I ain't running no more, I ain't walking out the door. I ain't running no more. I ain't running no more like so many times before. I ain't running no more. All those stories of old, they don't need to be told. I'll dry up the tears of my journey, and I'll face all the fears that I've run from for years. But I ain't running no more, I ain't walking out the door. I ain't running no more. I ain't running no more like so many times before. I ain't running no more. I ain't running no more, I ain't walking out the door. I ain't running no more. I ain't running no more like so many times before. I ain't running no more. I ain't running no more. No more. No more. No more. Thank you, Alice.
Nice, Freebo.
That is beautiful, guys.
Oh, thanks.
Thank
I was
you.
singing harmonies.
Oh, I wish we could hear
Wish
it.
I could hear
I
that
ain't
third
running
part.
no more, I ain't running no more.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's so fun to sing on that one.
Mhm.
Gorgeous.
Thank you.
Yeah. I have so many different questions I could ask Amy. I feel like in some ways I feel like I have a lot in common with you, Amy. I love like that you went to Amherst and
Yeah,
I
I
went
had
to
no idea you went to
Smith, so
Smith.
I know we're like Pioneer Valley girls, you know.
Yeah,
I'm
5
just-
college women.
I know I've spent so much time on that campus and just have so many fond memories of my time in the Valley. And I know we have some listeners who are coming in from Western Mass too. So
I miss it.
I know it's probably pretty cold right now.
Yeah. Do you have snow down where you are?
It's snowing right now. I am completely iced in.
Wow.
We have so much snow. People have been sledding. This is one of those. It happened like the last time this happened was 7 years ago.
Wow.
So it's been beautiful but treacherous because Nashvillians have no idea how to drive.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
It's like you got to watch out for the other drivers. I feel like just as much.
I know, and I drive a Prius, but the thing is that I lived in New England, so I can drive the Prius in the snow.
Yeah.
People are like, "You crazy?" I'm like, "I know how to turn."
Yeah, just got to be able to handle that thing.
I know, right? Southerners.
So Amy, how did you know that you wanted to be a performer and a musician and I know an actor and was that always in you from the beginning?
Yeah.
What did you listen to growing up? Like, just tell us about your musical influences and kind of how you got started with all of this on this path.
Well, I started playing piano when I was 3 by ear, so I was a little bit of one of those kids. And very precocious. I was like writing my own plays and gathering the neighborhood together. And so I just was really artistic, artsy. And that was kind of how I saw the world growing up. But I don't come from artistic people at all. So they kind of didn't know what to do with me. And music, like, because I studied piano for so long, it was classical music. And then I played clarinet and tenor saxophone in the band and the orchestras, and I got really serious with that. And then I kind of started singing on a whim because I was cast in a play. I was really like the class clown, so I was really kind of funny as a kid, and so they put me in a play. They put me in Guys and Dolls as Adelaide, and because I could do a New York accent, and a voice teacher heard me and said, "I see something in there," and started, giving me voice lessons. And then they sent me to an arts program called Governor School for the Arts, and I studied classical voice. And then when I was going to college, it was really confusing for me because I really wanted to be an opera singer, and I got into Juilliard and Eastman and Curtis. But my parents were like, and I was a coloratura, so I was like super into it. But I also did a lot of musical theater. And I sang jazz at this point, and I was learning vocal jazz, and it's just like I loved everything. And so I kind of got chicken because I thought, well, I don't want to go to Eastman or any conservatory and then just get stuck on that one path. And so I was also applying to regular colleges and got into a liberal arts college, and then got really into theater, but not as like an actor, but more as a playwright and a director.
Wow.
And I sang, there was a cappella groups and there was jazz ensembles, and I did all that, but I didn't think that I was ever going to do that because, my parents were always like, that's not really a job. So I was actually preparing.
I know that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was preparing to be a complet PhD major to go back and like teach, or be a journalist or something like that. But it just kept bugging me. And so after college, I decided, well, screw it, I'm going to move to New York. And my professors, who I was doing like an English thesis with, a very literary, lit-crit, highfalutin, thinking that I'm smarter than I actually am, using the word trope way too many times. And my 2 English professors were like, I was like giving them my applications for PhD programs, and they were like, "We're not going to sign this for you." I was like, "What?
Whoa.
I'm doing really well. What do you mean?" They were like, "No, just go to New York. We don't know what you're supposed to do, but just go to New York." And so I did, and I got into the National Shakespeare Conservatory and studied there, and then started doing theater in New York City. And I was dating a guy in a band, and I borrowed his guitar. And at this point, I was in Bob Dylan, Leonard Cohen, Joni Mitchell, Sean Colvin, that whole stage. That guy lent me his guitar, showed me 3 chords, and then I listened to nothing but Tori Amos for like an entire summer when he broke up with me. And I wrote 10 songs. I just wrote 10 songs. They just fell out of me. And I went over to the Bitter End, and I did an open mic, and Ken Gorka offered me a main stage slot. Literally, it kind of went like that. It was bizarre. And I was like trying to do the theater thing, which was amazing, but was a slog. And it was like I was doing 4 different off Broadway plays. I had 3 temp jobs. I was bartending. I was, doing all sorts of stuff. And then I was playing all the folk cafes in New York City when Judy Collins heard me and signed me to her label. So it was never an intentional path. It was never an intentional path. It was actually a side thing to do while I was just auditioning to be, I wanted to be a Shakespearean actress.
Wow. And then it's interesting that of all those, so many things you did, all of which take a lot of chops and a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of studying, that of all of them, this is the one that really spoke to you, that you chose.
Yeah, the one I had no chops for, because I literally
and
couldn't.
The one that you were, it's like you were seen for that by like certain people that came into your life, and like Judy or the guy at the bitter end, and that's interesting. You were probably like hustling way harder in other areas.
I think I had a thick skin because of acting. Years of acting in New York City with all the no's, you just like, doesn't really bother you. So the minute you get into, the music world and you get a bunch of no's, you're like, yeah, I think I can turn that into a yes. And also I knew the minute I knew I wanted to do it, I was not a good songwriter. I was like an okay songwriter with a really good voice and really good stage presence. So I was getting a lot of notice. I even think that my first record has one good song on it with Judy Collins. I think that she signed me based on my voice because I sort of sound a little bit like her. Right. But what happened was Mary Gaucher actually told me when I first met her, she said, you're going to be one of those people that people come up to you and talk about your voice, but you want to be a songwriter. And if after your show they say, what a great voice, you failed as a songwriter. And that's when I really was like John Prine, Guy Clark, Mary Gaucher, Lucinda Williams. And I just went deep dive.
I can really relate to that comment, and I feel like because I do usually get the comment about my voice too, but when somebody does say something specifically about my songwriting or my guitar playing, I'm always like, oh, yes, like I got through somehow, so I feel that like it does make you push more to be like, don't only hear this. Yeah. While I'm proud of it, of course, I want that to be.
Hey, I can relate to that too. Known as a bass player, and somebody says, "Wow, I love your bass playing." But when somebody comes up and actually says, "Gosh, I love one of your songs or that song, whatever," it gives you the world, and it really makes me think of all these things that you've done, Amy. There's something about getting up there by oneself with a guitar, a song that you've written, singing it, and there's an audience there. And there's something about it that's, in the best sense, is controlling, to where you have control. It's all about you. It's also where you're completely vulnerable. But when you succeed in doing that, what I've found of all the things I've ever done in my life, the most difficult thing to get up there, by yourself and sing a song that you've done and get a positive reaction. It's the best. It really is. And you don't get that if you're acting. You don't have, you're part of something, but it's not yours.
And you're also
it's
not being
selfish.
yourself, right? Like
what's that?
You're playing a role usually.
You're playing a role that somebody else has given you, as opposed to being truly who you are.
Although
I was going to say there's an element of being somebody else too. I don't know.
There's an element of bringing yourself to every role so that you're shining through that, but there's also an element of the vulnerability. Well, it's interesting you said control, Freebo, because it made me think that acting is very controlled, whereas for me, the solo singer is flying.
Right.
There's a little bit of control. You got to know what you're doing and have a show, but the best part about it is you have all that, and then I throw it out the window when I get on stage, and then I just go with it. And I never had that experience. I think the only thing I ever had that experience was when I was studying vocal jazz. I was studying it with an amazing bop singer, and so I started to learn to scat, which is hysterical now because I'm like a northeastern white girl learning to scat. But I wanted to be Diana.
Heard you scat, Amy.
Nah, it's pretty good. I wanted to be Diana Shore, or Sheila Jordan. But that was like the minute I got it, and actually I learned to scat like 3:00 in the morning, drinking a lot of wine and having somebody sing four, of the wonderful things you get out of life, for, until I got bored with the lyrics and just started going doing that. And that is what that and improv comedy to me put together is singer-songwriter land.
Interesting. And when I think about the control thing, what I meant is you have total control of the situation, and the way to really succeed is to let go of the control, like you say, to put you in the zone. So it's one of those classic life paradoxes.
I love this deep dive conversation we're having.
Man.
I'm such a nerd.
I know. We are too. Welcome.
That's what I love about you.
I know.
mean, you can go deep and you can be the most silly person in the world, which, why don't you play another song?
Yeah, play us a song.
I'll play a non-silly song.
Okay.
So I just to let Brandon know, I put my guitar through my Focusrite because I think it'll pick this up better. Can y'all hear that better?
Sounds nice. Yeah.
So I'm gonna play you guys a brand new song. I just wrote this last week because it's snowing, and I'm actually living in this cabin that's right on the Cumberland River. So I figured. And when people ask me what my favorite song is, I always say the last one I wrote. So it's called "This February Day." Bridge over the Cumberland is shadowed like a dream, and I see it as the afternoon shines between the beams on this trail where I am following the river this February day. Something about a train that makes me feel I'm not alone. The echo of the whistle, like a song that I have known all my life. I've had the urge to run away to the unknown instead of stay. The shortest month often is the pivot of the year, the door out of the winter and the window to the spring, and I'm hoping for a miracle on this winding way. This February day. Years ago I walked this trail, learning to break free of a broken heart and spirit, and it helped me to heal. Now there's ice on the water, there's snow in the trees that bend and sway. The deer aren't afraid, there's a buck and a doe, and there's an owl in the trees, and I can hear her howl and moan. My heart is fragile like a cloud and cold to the bone in the grave. Oh, the miles on this path could sweat it all away, the doubt and the fear and words I wish I didn't say, the amends for the past and the years I'm remembering today. On this February day. So I walk in silence and let myself cry. I'm looking for an answer in the earth and the sky, and I'm reaching for a God I don't believe in all the time in my prayers. One foot and then the other, it's a comforting beat that moves the sorrow through my soul and out as I weep to the hawk in the sky and the cracked concrete on this trail. Sometimes my prayer is quiet, sometimes I loudly beg to the ice and snow through the chill on my breath, and I write this song to tell you that I love you more than words could say. This February day.
this February day. Next week is my birthday, and I might be alone, but no matter who I'm with or where I am, I have a home on this trail along the river where I feel that I belong, come what may. This February day.
Oh,
Beautiful, Amy.
I love
Wow.
that last line. That last couple lines just brought it all home for me. It was just beautiful.
Thank you,
And
guys.
it's just the way the writing of that, where you're just describing going from the outside and the vision to all of a sudden you went right to your heart.
Mm.
It was like, whoa, it was wonderfully, I wouldn't say jarring, it was like just beautiful. Really
Thank
just
you.
gorgeous lyrics.
Thank you so much.
Oh, it's nice to hear new stuff. I'm going to do an old song.
An old song?
Yeah,
Okay.
an old one. I guess I'll play a song that I wrote for my dad. I had written to you, Amy, that I lost my father when I was 18, and so when I was reading what she wrote, what you wrote for your record about just that writing so much about the loss of him and about your son, and I've written so much about my dad, and it's been just like the way that I've gotten through all those feelings and processed my different angles on it, and just how it's changed through the years, and it's something I keep coming back to. So so I thought I'd share this one.
Yeah, I'd love to.
It's called Nothing But You. Ooh. Good call. Gone in a flash, gone in a flame, gone in the dark, gone when I call your name. Under a wave, under the ground, under my skin, and still you hardly make a sound. I look back and still I see nothing but you. A cabin floor, a piece of gold. I'd take anything my hands can hold. A dream that lingers in the light and leaves you stumbling back toward that gentle night. I look back and still I see nothing but you. What if I wake to find But if I'd never lost you, you may never have been mine. Gone in the winter, gone in the spring. The leaves were falling, then I swear I heard you sing. The summer's come, and I look around, and still you're nowhere. No, you're nowhere to be found. I look back, and still I see nothing. I look within, and still I see nothing. Nothing but you.
Oh my God, that was beautiful. That was so beautiful. Oh my gosh.
Thank you.
Nothing but you.
Yeah, you know, I wrote that years ago, but it just, I don't know, it's always true. So.
Yeah. Mm. Yeah, no, you have to like let some space after a song like that.
I know. I actually we were talking about that. I think as I was becoming more comfortable performing, when I was just starting to play out more, I didn't used to do that. I would feel like I had to just like say something right away. And I remember watching an old video of Bonnie Raitt and like how she just left all this space, and it was like, oh, it like gave me a chill. I was like, ooh, you can do that. You don't have to just rush right back into your performance. It's part of the performance.
It's part of it, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
When did you lose your dad, Amy? Just like last year, did you say, or 2 years
October
ago?
2019, October 1st. Yeah.
Wow.
I found out actually he was healthy as a horse, 82 years old, and he was still beating me at tennis. He's such an athlete. And I was playing at Kerrville. So it might have been when you saw me there. And I went back. I was leaving the next morning early, and I went back to, I don't know, Camp Caffeine or Camp Coho or something like that. And my dad had been calling me and leaving me messages. Just give me a call, give me a call, give me a call. And I thought, that's so weird. Maybe I should call him back. So it was like 11 o'clock at night, and I called my dad. And I was with Breadman, actually. Brian.
Oh,
Yeah. I was with Bregman, and I sat down and I took the call, and my dad told me, and I got off the phone and just looked at Brian, and I said, my dad's got 4 months to live. And he said, well, I'm going to make you some French toast. And it was like the best thing ever, because he knew I wasn't going to sleep. And my friend Kira Small was there, and she came up to me and she said, it must have been 9 or 10 because the bands were still playing. And she said, what do you want to do? And I said, I want to go dance under the stars. And so I danced that whole night, stayed up all night long in Chapel Hill. And I just, it was, that's what happened.
That's so good.
Wow.
It's so good to have people around you that can just be with you wherever you're at. Like for me, just my friends at Smith were like they saved me. It was like, I could just feel how I felt. And that was kind of my little that place was like my cocoon. It was very, very safe for me there, and I was surrounded by women, and it was just like such a good place to be.
If you heard a bounce, that's because the ice is falling.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
I hope it's warm in that little cabin.
It is. It's very warm. Yeah.
If I may ask you another question about family, I know because I read some of your blog, which I thought was just amazing. Amy has a blog called Menopausal Mommy that is just so honest and just heartfelt, and you share so much personal, just your stories, and I'm just so curious how you started that and like why you started it.
Insomnia when I was pregnant. That's honestly, I got pregnant when I was 49, and a half. And what had happened was, we had the opportunity to do IVF, and so we did that, and miracle of miracles, I got pregnant. And I went looking online for, they call it geriatric pregnancy, and I wanted to find other women who were my age who had gone through this. And there were tons of blogs of 35-year-olds and, 38-year-olds. Yeah. Nothing my age. And I was actually talking to my friend Tim Easton, who's a songwriter and a poet. And I said, there's nothing out there. He said, well, you're a writer, right? So since I couldn't sleep, I just started writing. And then I wrote through the birth, and then I wrote through his first year. And I keep writing. And it is a book now.
Wow.
Yeah. Menopausal Mommy.
It is actually a book now. Oh, someone just...
It'll be published.
Oh wow!
I think 2022. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, that's so cool.
I put it together and then added some stuff and decided that decided what the beginning point was, and then the end is my dad's death and COVID. Yeah. So I'm pretty.
Is that your first book?
Yeah.
You are. You are firing on all cylinders, aren't you?
I'm bored.
Yeah.
It's COVID.
Hey,
I got nothing to
I
do.
know.
Hey, you're a creative
And a kid.
soul.
Yes, right. How do you find the time? My God.
I don't know. It's funny. I think because I'm a fear of death. Honestly, it's fear of death. My dad died, and I was like, I better get busy. I got to write a book. I got to write 4 albums. I got to get this done. You never know. So
yeah, you really don't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I hear that. I mean, I'm a lot older than you, and I feel that same push from behind, as it were, and.
How about that book, Freebo?
You have a memoir in you. Oh my goodness!
Totally does.
If I can only remember, that's the problem.
You can remember it.
You have a spiritual memoir in you. I know you do.
I do.
Yes,
no, I've
so
already
true.
written pieces, but I'm really looking forward to it. And
mine is very spiritual too, and I think it a lot of the honesty has to do with shared experiences that you and I have too. So I'm pretty open. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think that's what it's all about. I mean, especially and like we were talking before about the craft of being a singer-songwriter. It's really about putting it all out there. It's about, who we are and being as vulnerable as possible. And I think for so many years, maybe more so for guys than for women, I don't know, but because we're a little more removed from our feelings. But the older I've gotten, the more I've gotten into this, and the more I feel like I've evolved. It really is about showing who you are, warts and all. And for the longest time, we avoid that because, oh my God, maybe somebody will think I'm not as perfect as I wish they think that I am. And it turns out that I'm not. And it turns out that they actually like that. We're afraid that if we show these imperfections that people won't like it. It turns out it's just the opposite, really.
Couldn't agree more. I think what is that? Is it Japanese? The Japanese art of porcelain, that when things crack and they put the gold filigree in between, and it makes it more beautiful because it's broken.
Yes.
Wow.
Interesting. Heard of that. That's so cool.
It's called
I just want to.
What is it called?
It's called kintsugi.
Kintsugi. That's it.
Oh,
Brandon.
thank you, Brandon.
He
love
just
it.
comes in with these.
A nerd.
I know, fellow nerd. They're everywhere. I just want to mention, not to interrupt our deep, beautiful conversation, which is very beautiful. I just want to say that if folks are enjoying the show, which I know so many of you are, and you watch every week, and thank you. This is free to watch, but we really appreciate your donations. Not only are we splitting them between all 3 artists tonight, but we're also donating a portion of all the shows, all the tips from all the shows in February
that come in for Inside Live to an organization called the Movement for Black Lives, and we decided to do that for
it being Black
History Month, and
yes.
we're going to choose a new charity every month. So if you guys can use Venmo, PayPal, do that. If you prefer to use a credit card, you can go to my website, alicehowe.com/support, and you can enter a credit card. If you want to send a check, we got a P.O. box. We got all the methods. So thank you for your donations.
Now, of course, only if you're enjoying the show. I mean, if you're not enjoying the show, it's okay. But we assume you're still here. We do appreciate that.
So.
And actually, somebody asked earlier, Alice, about my guitar way back. You can't
guitar?
really see the head. Yeah, I mean, way back in the show. It's you couldn't see the headstock, but it's an old Martin. It's a 64 D28, and I love it.
What do you play, Amy?
My main guitar these days is a 1956 J45, a Gibson. The one I'm playing now is a Collings C12
so, yeah.
or C10. Yeah.
Beautiful guitar.
Thank you. I love it. I bought it. Actually, I had it made for me because the only two guitars I had at the time were I have a 1949 Gibson LG2 and then the 56, and I was touring so much in Europe and the UK, I started getting a little nervous about bringing those, and I wanted a smaller bodied guitar because I started getting a lot of tendonitis playing. So I had Collins made me the smaller guitar, which I love. I'm a huge Collins fan. So
They make great guitars.
They are
really
so
do.
nice. I want one so much. That is like, I used to work at this shop in Seattle that sold Collings, and I would just lust after them. Had a running list of which one I wanted each week.
Yeah. And I'm not a big new guitar person because I really like that sort of deep vintage sound, but this is it's a road horse too. It just sounds good every time I plug it in, and yeah.
Cool.
Well, Alice, this might be a good opportunity to tell them about our free giveaway, and also let Amy know that we're
Amy
sponsored.
gets a present also.
You get a present. We're sponsored by Cordial Cords, and they make incredible cables that are essentially just about 100% copper. They sound really good. There's essentially no resistance in them, and it's
really
a
nice.
lifetime guarantee. So this will be the only cord you will ever need. Should something go south on it, you just send it back, and they'll send you a new one.
So they've been sponsoring our show, and Amy, they will send you a $100 value cable, and we're also giving one away. So everybody, we have a secret number between 1 and 100 that we chose. So if you want to participate in tonight's giveaway, just put a guess in the chat, and Brandon is watching the numbers, so we will announce the winner a little bit later on. But thank you to Cordial, and you can add it to your live streaming setup, Amy.
I know, I'm so excited.
I mean,
Thank you.
they work particularly well with Collins guitars.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sure. Oh, I love that. You guys are so generous. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, you're welcome.
Thank Mike at Cordial.
I will. Mike, thank you so much.
Yes, thank
There
you,
you go.
Mike. I think he's watching. Did you want to do another song?
I don't know what should I do.
What should you
What
do?
song should I do? I feel like I should do something up.
Yeah.
It feels like it needs something
That's
up.
what I rely on you for.
All right, I'll tell you what. Let's do the old standby. Let's go someplace completely different. Let's do a dog song.
Okay.
Let's
I was
have
just
you
going to
play some
request a
Dave.
dog song. I was going to say,
Really?
Freebo, do a dog song.
We need a
all
dog
right.
song.
I'll do my latest, my favorite one.
Old reliable.
It's actually not my latest. It's my second latest. But let Alice play a little bass because she's learning how to do it on the 5-string fretless, Amy.
Wow, that's impressive.
And I had no idea that you played saxophone. I didn't know that.
Tenor saxophone.
Player too.
And
you
I'm
still?
learning. I can. I don't have one. I have a clarinet, and I'm learning banjo right now, clawhammer banjo.
Oh, cool.
You have a sax?
No, I have a clarinet, not a sax.
She's learning banjo, she said.
Oh, Alice, didn't you play the bass clarinet at one point?
I don't even want to say because I feel like Amy said that she was really good at it. So I don't even want
Like 30, 40 years ago.
I also played the clarinet in the middle school band. And then like when for some reason they needed an extra bass instrument, I volunteered to play the bass clarinet. So I thought I was really cool because I was the only one with the bass clarinet.
Yeah, that's super cool.
It's a lot of air.
I just can't imagine seeing you with a bass
I
clarinet.
can't either.
somehow,
I don't know.
It wasn't like a
Me.
double reed, right? It was like a clarinet, but
No,
with a
it's not a
yeah.
double reed.
Just like long
It's like
and
a
with
big
that
clarinet
silver
that
bottom.
got the bell. Like a
Oh,
saxophone
right.
kinda.
That is way cooler than clarinet.
I felt pretty cool. All right, take it back to the bass clef here
Okay,
for
back
a
to the
moment.
bass clef. This song's called "She Loved My Dog More Than Me," because she does.
Wait.
You ready? Here you go.
Okay.
One, two, three, four. Once upon a time, everything was so fine, cozy, just my baby and me. I was so well fed, had my breakfast in bed. I was happy as a man can be. Then my buddy called up, had the cutest little pup. I couldn't help but take him in. Little did I know her affection would go to my new little four-legged friend. Now she loved my dog more than me. She loved my dog more than me. I love my dog. She loved my dog, but she loved my dog more than me. Ba 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 ba. We were lying by the fire, burning with desire, when suddenly to my chagrin, as the fire got to stoking, came a cold nose a poking, somewhere it should not have been. I thought she'd shoo him away, but she told him to stay. It kinda took me out of the zone. Now a man's best friend gets a girl in the end, and I'm left holding the bone. It's true. Now she loved my dog more than me. She loved my dog more than me. I love my dog. She loved my dog, but she loved my dog more than me. Ba 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 ba. So I'm sitting here fuming while he's getting all the grooming. That ain't how it's supposed to be. Well, you know I don't hate him, but I got an ultimatum. Baby, it's the dog of me. Well, I got a reply. She led me outside and she handed me my people chow. Now I'm howling at the moon while he's up in my room, and I'm in the doghouse now. Everybody sing. She loved my dog more than me. She loved my dog more than me. I love my dog. She loved my dog, but she loved my dog more than me. Ba 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 ba. There's a moral to the story. When you fall from the glory, you gotta do it gracefully. So I'm back in the bed with the dog at the head. We're a nuclear family, and I accept my fate. You know this little debate, because it ain't no democracy. From the moment it came, it's been a doggone shame that she loved my dog more than me. 2, 3, 4. She loved my dog more than me. Nice lead in. She loved my dog more than me. I love my dog. She loved my dog, but she loved my dog. Everybody sing. She loved my dog more than me. She loved my dog more than me. I love my dog. She loved my dog, but she loved my dog more than me. Yes, I love my dog. She loved my dog, but she loved my dog more than me. Ba 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 ba.
Always good for the dog songs, Freebo.
He is. Hey, and now folks can buy your CD on your website,
They
right?
can.
So if they want to actually, I just feel like I should say that because I helped you set it up.
You sure did, and I appreciate that.
They can even buy your full-length Dog People album if they
can buy
want
that.
more dog songs.
They can buy my first one, my second one. And matter of fact, Harriet is watching tonight, and Harriet bought one, the very first one off my
And
website.
what is your website?
freebomusic.com. Very simple.
Hey, I also want to mention that we are doing the Zoom after party, and Amy's going to stick around. And we're also going to welcome my good friend, Emily Jeanne Brown, who has just a gorgeous voice, and she's going to play a couple songs for us too and hang out during the after party. So,
and she also went to Smith, right?
And she did go to Smith, so triple the
Smithies,
fun.
love it.
More beautiful singing. And yeah, so I just make sure you guys stick around to get the meeting ID and password, which will be in the chat. You can keep watching on Facebook and YouTube if you prefer, but if you want to come into Zoom with us and maybe ask Amy a question and say hi, you should stick around for that.
Yeah,
so.
we get to see you. I like it.
Yep.
Amy, why don't you do another song for us?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to do piano.
Okay.
So because you guys were, tell me how the level is.
I love that we can't see the piano. It's like
That
the
sounds
secret
good.
I
piano.
know. Wait.
No, it's great.
There it is,
Okay.
but then you can't see me.
Now we can't
We
see
can't
your
see
face.
you.
No, we want to
wanna
see your face.
Let me see if I can. No, I can't.
No. Faith, more important.
We
to
know
see
what
your
a
face.
piano looks
yeah,
like.
we know.
I mean, come on.
I know. It's one of those things. I didn't want to move back, so I'm so far away, so I can't see you. So
It's fine.
I split the difference.
It's great.
All right. Okay, so just let me know how the level of the piano is. Loud enough? Too loud?
I think.
Okay.
No, I think it's good.
No, that's good.
It's good.
That's great.
Awesome. Okay, this is a song that I wrote in Aachen, Germany, which is a little town on the edge of Holland in Germany. And I was touring there, and everybody was telling me that I needed to go to the cathedral while I was there because that's where the bones of Charlemagne were interred, because that's the town that Charlemagne was born and died in. And I knew I had to wake up the next morning and drive far to Switzerland for the next show, so I didn't have time. But that night after the show in Aachen, I was staying in a little apartment that was in the attic, and the window faced the tower of the cathedral, and all night long the tower bells were going, and they kept me up all night. And so I had nothing to do but write that night, so I wrote this song, and this became the title track to my record that was previous, that came out in 2018. So it's called Me and the Ghost of Charlemagne. On the western edge of Germany, where the emperor lived and died, the tower bells cut through the quiet of the early evening sky. They say his body's buried here, and I could see the bones, but I've had enough of castles. They're just cold and made of stone, and I'm out here on my own, trying to keep this thing on track. Every day I quit this job, by night I take it back. And I've got a few more minutes in this tiny room off stage before it's me and the ghost of Charlemagne. Then I'll sneak out through the back after the after party starts. I'll be too tired after 2 sets to be safe near any bar. All these surface conversations in a language not my own remind me how far away I am from any home. Although tonight out there I felt close to the flame, by morning I'll be hauling luggage through the rain. Though it's rental cars and chain motels, cafes with clever names, some nights it's me and the ghost of Charlemagne. We all want
to leave behind a thing that says that we were here before we die. Something more than just a castle in the air. So we dare. You know the moment when the dreamer meets the dream and it's a lie. After years of climbing up, I see it's just the same damn sky. And the clouds that kings have pondered, oh, they look a lot like mine. We dream because we know that we're running out of time. And we're carpenters hammering at nails, building arcs and chasing after whales, tilting at windmills and hunting a grail. It's these little rhymes and relics, and may they live beyond my name, 'cause in the end they're all that will remain of me and the ghost of Charlemagne.
Gorgeous. And it's really, really interesting, too, to hear you play piano. You have a different musicality with the piano than with the guitar. I mean, you obviously, you're more studied on it, but da 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 da, just the motif and the way you put it through there and the way it finds its way. I mean, they're both beautiful. I mean, the song you played before basically had two chords.
Yeah.
And it was just as effective as this, but two completely different feels.
I was really inspired by Sondheim. And, I'm very inspired. In my musical theater days, I was very inspired by Lerner and Loewe and Sondheim. And I was always a little afraid of that as a folk singer. But once I hadn't started writing on piano until about, 6-7 years ago. And I had to unlearn and then learn to play by ear. And I really went back to those chords. And Randy Newman's a huge influence on me.
Oh, of course. Absolutely. Yeah.
Lucinda.
Yeah, Lucinda. Just a quick aside, in my early days, actually the first year I was with Bonnie in 71, we were both on Warner Brothers Records, and we did a tour that Warner Brothers sponsored, a first-class tour. The first time I'd ever been in a first-class seat in an airplane, and it was a 2-week tour. It was just Bonnie and me. We were a duo back then, and Randy by himself, and a guy named Carl Scott from Warner Brothers. And I would drive the rent-a-car, and Carl would be in the shotgun seat, and Bonnie and Randy in the back. And if you think he's funny as a songwriter, you would not believe.
Oh my God!
I was just crying. I could hardly see the road. So funny. The two of them back and forth. Wow! It's just amazing.
Well, my son is on a Toy Story kick. He's almost 3. And so we watch Toy Story like literally on a loop all day long. So I just get you got a friend in me. I love just hearing Randy Newman constantly on that song.
I love it. I just gotta say about that song, Amy, I studied Charlemagne in my nerdy medieval history phase of my life in college, and when I heard you do that song, I think at Kerrville also, I was like, there is another person on earth who put the word Charlemagne into a song, because I had written this terrible song in college where I used his name, and I was like, no one will ever do that again. And when I heard your song, I was like, oh my God, how is that possible? It just made me so happy.
James McMurtry has a song called Charlemagne's Ghost. So, and he's one of my favorite songwriters. So when I found that out, I was like, oh God.
Did you know that when you wrote the song?
When I started writing it, I'm a huge McMurtry fan, but I hadn't heard that record. And I happened to be listening. I was like, oh, there's a record I don't know of his. I got to listen to this. And I was like, oh no, Charlemagne's Ghost. And then I was like, whatever, me and the ghost of Charlemagne, you know.
Right.
You can't copyright a title. That's mine.
No. That's so funny.
Yeah.
I love that. I miss touring in Europe. When you were talking about Germany, I was just like thinking back to the one time I got to do it and how much I wanted to do it again. And I was like getting all excited about it. And man, it's just, I know you travel in England and the UK a lot. And
it's pretty much primarily, I had decided before COVID that especially with a 3-year-old, I want to be around for his life. So I wanted to really curtail my touring. And I had really pulled back. And touring in the States, you know, I'm kind of not doing the long drives anymore because I want to be home. So I'm just doing flybys really. But when I go to Europe, I have to be there for, you know, or England, I want to be there for 3 weeks to make sure that the ticket makes sense, you know, because it's expensive. And I have just, you know, I'm on a label that's over there. And they've been really, really good to me, radio and press. So I just keep going back because it feels like that audience, especially, you know, the UK and Ireland, they listen in a way.
They do.
Not that the United States doesn't, because, you know, I love my folk audience here, but there's something generational. So I'll play a show in London and like grandparents and their kids show up and they tend to know the lyrics of the songs and they follow me from town to town. And then whenever I do my own Facebook show, half of it is like Europe and England. And so I'm trying to do them at times that they can show up. But I love my German audience. I love Holland. They have like Amsterdam is my favorite city in the world. And
Absolutely.
Yeah.
and so I feel like if I could make my life, and I think I have made my life mostly that I'd like to tour mostly there if I'm touring and then just do sort of New York, LA, Ann Arbor, Texas, you know, not tour as much just until my son is a little bit older.
Yeah.
All right, so that mean while your son is still, let's say, below 6, you're not going to go back to Europe? And if you do for a couple of weeks, how are you going to do it? You're going to take him with
No,
you?
but she can
No,
just
no,
go
no.
in one stint. It's good.
I'll go one stint.
Right?
And I'll go in one stint. And my husband teaches 8th grade English and his parents live close by. So we've been able to at least for now work with it. But, you know, and my mom came with me on my last tour to England. There was a whole like conference and award show thing. So my mom came with me.
Was
and,
it Americana UK?
It was, yeah.
Did you, which, I feel like you won something.
did.
What did you win? Remind me.
International Song of the Year for Me and the Ghost of Charlemagne.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
That's
Beautiful.
So cool.
Yeah.
Amy, I have a question for you. You don't have to answer it, but I know back in the days in Kerrville, I remember you know, like a lot of you know, a lot of partying and all sorts of stuff going on. I remember you know being parts of that and watching you, and I know that you've kind of stopped your partying in the last several years, and you know, and you've cleaned up your act as I have. And I was wondering how that's affected your creativity and your work in general. You know,
Oh my God, I love talking about that. I mean, I'm so on fire for like honestly for church basements, and yeah, I'm sober 8 years, and my life radically changed. My whole outlook on everything changed. My relationship to performance changed because I realized it, just like the whole sort of self-centered thing changed. My creativity, I was terrified, honestly, when I put the wine down that I wouldn't have the muse. Not that I ever really drank on stage or anything. And really, my kind of drinking, most of my friends when I got sober were like, but you're not an alcoholic. I was like, yeah, well, they don't have to look like the bum under the tracks. Like, I was a private drinker. And I was a sad drinker, too. Like, I had just a series of things happen in my life that I couldn't handle, and I wanted to feel differently. So I drank and smoked and took a few pills, and then I realized my life was unmanageable before I realized I had a problem with alcohol. But then it was suggested to me, and I walked into some church basements and listened to a lot of people who I trusted, and you know, months went by and then years went by, and my muse got stronger because I think I stopped listening with that grasping heart of I don't know, like I was such a, I'm very ambitious, but I think my ambition is different now. My ambition back then was how do I become the next Sean Colvin? How do I get on tour with Patty Griffin? How do I get somebody to hear me? How do I get on this label or that label? And now it's like, I don't really care what happens to me in the music business. I mean, honestly, like every song that I write, like that's like my favorite thing that's happened. And if I can play for people, I'm super happy. If I can make a living at it, I feel eternally blessed and grateful. And I don't think I'd be as present for the journey had I not, I mean, I'm an alcoholic. I'm not just like a drinker that put it down, you know? And so I had to reckon with that. And it was definitely a get on my knees, hand to God. I can't do this on my own. And, I've met so many fellow travelers, and I'm a huge proponent of the 12 steps. Done a bunch of them. I'm doing like the 64 steps these days. But they've saved my life, you know, and I've gotten to meet some incredible people in the arts and outside of the arts, and they are my closest friends. And so I love talking about it.
No, I thank that. I mean, I walked into those basements. I actually backed into those basements about 29 years ago, and my life is really much better. And I too was afraid that muse creativity that I wouldn't have it. I wasn't sure it was going to happen, but I agree with you. I'm much more present now. Yeah. And I can have. I think I actually have more fun.
Right.
You know, that I actually have more fun. I'm there for it. Everything, you wouldn't think so, but I found that everything is better, you know, which was a huge surprise.
Well, and the thing too is like the front. I have a friend who's in the music business who said to me when I was, because one of the things that does still pop up once in a while is like music conferences, like South by Southwest or schmoozy parties in Nashville, especially because there's a lot of them. And, you know, you show up and it's just nothing but drinking and nothing but talking about drinking. And I'm the kind of person who I can't stay that long at the party anymore because everybody gets a little loopy and then the conversation bores me. So, I mean, the benefit is I get more sleep than most people, but you know, I go to like the Americana conference and there's a lot of drinking. And I had a friend who's in the Americana world who said he's a member of the Grand Ole Opry, and he said, yeah, but it's a masquerade party, so don't go in with a mask on. And that was like such great information for me. And so that's what when I do get the schmooze jitters, because schmoozing is way easier when you're tipsy.
Oh yeah, right.
I just think about going in without a mask, without makeup, you know, like not literally, but like figuratively, and that the people who I need to attract will come, and the other people will fall away, and that's okay. They'll go to somebody else.
So, and you know, and what you say, and Alice and I talk about this all the time, that when you let go, it's another one of those classic paradoxes. When you let go of success, of trying to it's like there's no there, you know. Right. I love that expression. But if you stay in the process and just say, okay, I'm going to write the best songs I can and sing and be present, it's interesting how things happen. You're finding that, right?
Yeah. No, and I can also, not that I am sober, but I mean, I am right now, but I feel like there have been times where I've gone into a party and I've just chosen to not drink, and because there is that such, just in the music world, like everyone's got a drink in hand, and it's like you're the odd man out if you aren't. And I have definitely had that experience of just like, wow, I'm so clear, and I don't feel like I'm less interesting or funny or myself. I actually feel more myself. Like I'm funnier. I'm more engaging. And so all those things that you think that alcohol is going to be able to give you. And I don't know. I sort of toy with it in my own way. I don't know. It's interesting to me.
Well, and there are people, like, I don't want to denigrate drinking alcohol because there are people who can do it. You know, I just can't, because one glass is way not enough. And so for me, it's like, I'm not going to fool myself that I can have a glass of wine at a conference. I'm like with the bottle, and then I'm in the back with some vodka, and then I'm smoking whatever anybody's got. And that's, you know. But, you know, it's funny you talk about letting go, Freebo, because I knew I was about to kind of go through the IVF process. And it's not drinking that I thought was going to kill my career, baby. So when I was on the road in that European tour, I was coming home to get the shots, and I thought, I'm never going to do this again. This is it. I'm going to have to get a day job. And I wrote Me and the Ghost of Charlemagne as a farewell to the road. I really thought, this is it. Might as well just throw this song into the air. And so it was this weird thing to get, like, I'd never been singled out and gotten an award, to get an award based on the song that I quit the business with.
That is so cool.
Wow.
You know,
there
I didn't
go.
quit. I decided to stick around, but
I feel
Yeah, you
like
got to let go to connect.
it's usually.
but my
when
son, yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
No.
I was just going to say, my son is, like, to me, the bright and shining example of being sober. Like, really, there's no way that I would have had that had I not. I mean, I met my husband in a church basement. So, like, we both kind of walk the path together. And so, for me, it's just the benefits are like, I had no idea.
That's great. And for our listening, watching audience out there, we're not trying to promote anything. Just, I think just in the interest of, it's not even full disclosure. It's just about being honest. And I know that, and you, to me, you're so much more engaging now, and I guess that's judgmental, but it's like.
I love hearing about it. I think of, like, you guys, you're, like, enlightened in some way. Like, it's so interesting to me. I'm like, you've, like, crossed over, like, some barrier that, like, I can just kind of imagine what it's like. But I'm very curious about it in a way, because when I hear sober people talk about being sober, you guys have this, like, aura. I don't know. There's something.
I think it's also, I mean, I'm going to just, like, I think turning 50, all F's out the door. Like, literally, right. The minute I turned 50, I was like, oh, it doesn't matter. Nobody's looking at what I'm wearing. Nobody cares if I gained 15 pounds. Nobody cares. And it was just, like, to me, the most free. Like, sobriety is a freeing experience. Turning 50 was the best thing ever. Oh, yeah. So just wait, Alice, seriously, because
I'm really looking forward to that.
I don't know how old you are. You look 20, but
I just turned 30. I am really ready to give less fucks about what people think about me. I'm
well, you should do it early. It took me till I was 50, but if I could turn 30 and not give a fuck, it'd be great. But I was drinking too much.
Coach me in that. I'm ready.
Yeah.
Hey, wait, I remember turning 50 as well a long time ago, and it was interesting. I went. First, it was like, every one of these, decades that you turn, it's like scary stuff. It happens a year before. It happens at 29, 39, 49, 59. But I remember after I did and I've gotten through it, I went, wow, I've been on this planet for half a century. Yeah. And I've picked up a few things along the way. You know what? And I don't have to apologize to anybody for anything. It's that whole thing, like you say. And I think that's when I really first started owning myself, who I am. Yeah. So, yeah.
And I was 9 months pregnant on my 50th birthday. So really, I gave them fucks.
Wow. That is just amazing.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Hey, do you guys want someone do one more song? Amy, would you take us out with a tune before we go into our intermission?
Are you cool?
Yeah.
Okay.
You guys good? I wasn't going to play this one, but I think I'm going to play a song I wrote for my son, since we're talking about having a baby at 50 and sobriety. Because actually, Freebo, this started as a lullaby to my son, but it also kind of went into a lullaby to myself and where I am in the world. So this is,
it's beautiful.
Great.
Every day I make my bed. Every day I make my bed. Every day I make my bed. So I can keep both feet on the ground. Every day I say that prayer. Every day I say that prayer. Every day.
Wait, hold on. The microphone is so big I can't see the piano, so let me just go.
Every day say that prayer so I can keep both feet on the ground. Once I flew above the stars, calling out your name, so that you know how to find me when you came. Every day I'll sing to you. Every day I'll sing to you. Every day I'll sing to you. So I can keep both feet. So I can keep both feet. So I can keep both feet on the ground.
Beautiful sentiment, Amy. It's a great approach.
I love it.
Thank you.
It's gorgeous.
Thanks for doing that one.
Yeah.
Oh, this has been just wonderful. Thanks for being here, Amy.
Oh my gosh, thanks for having me. It was great to hear you guys. Alice, I haven't heard enough of you. What a stunning voice.
Thank you. Thanks.
Well, maybe we can have Alice do another song and have you do another song and have Emily do a couple songs on the Zoom call coming up. And, do we have the information in there for our folks,
Brandon,
Alice?
will you put all that info in the chat? I think maybe he already did. He already did. He's that good.
Right.
And so folks, we can't put the link in the chat because then we get like Zoom hackers and we don't want that.
Don't have any Zoom
So
hackers,
just go to Zoom, enter the meeting ID and the passcode and just join us. We're going to take a 5-minute break. I'm going to put some music up and then we'll come back with Emily Jeanne Brown and yes.
The giveaway.
Oh, and we have
giveaway.
a winner. Oh my gosh.
We have to tell who the winner is.
I don't know
here.
his name.
Amy, you're already a winner.
Awesome.
And by the way, you get a T-shirt as well. The T-shirts are really nice.
Oh yeah.
Sweet.
I mean, not that you don't have any T-shirts, but this is a Cordial T-shirt. It's black. It's got that gold and fits really well.
So
nice
the winner
Who's the winner?
This T-shirt and cord, his name is Von Bluesman. Very mysterious.
Von
that's
Bluesman.
your YouTube handle. So Von Bluesman. Maybe he's a blues player. I don't know. I'm guessing he is. So Vaughn,
sounds
you
very
are the
aristocratic.
winner. If you could just go, here's what you got to do, Vaughn. I hope you're still watching. I'll find you if you're not. But go to alicehowe.com, click on the little contact form, and just send me a message and say, hey, I won the cable giveaway. So thanks to our friends at Cordial.
What number was that? By
it was, he guessed 99, and the number was 88. That was the closest one.
Figured he'd go high.
Mm-hmm. Yep, you got to go high. When they go low.
That's right. They go low, you go high. It worked.
All right, Amy. Thank you, Amy Speace. This has been
Thank you,
a pleasure.
Yeah,
So we'll see you in a few minutes. So get a drink of water. We'll come back for a little more
Sounds
music.
good.
All right.
Every night I have the strangest dream. All these ghosts are talking to me. Lay down in my bed and I can hardly sleep. These homeland blues have got a hold of me. Well, I went over to my cousin's house to see if we couldn't figure it out. He said it's plain to see you got them homeland blues. What hope have I got if what you're saying is true? And I got them homeland blues. Don't you know I got them homeland blues? Said I got them homeland blues. Honey, pull over, I got them homeland blues. sooner I book my ticket, the sooner I'll come running back to you. I asked my mother, do you know what I mean? And she could hardly look up at me. Eyes to her paper and I knew she had them too. Eyes on her coffee and I knew she had them too. Have you ever missed something that you never even had? You're down so low and you feel so bad. That's when you know you got them homeland blues. That's when you know that you got them homeland blues. And I got them homeland blues. Try to tell you I got them homeland blues. Said I got them homeland blues. Honey, pull over, I got them homeland blues. The sooner I book my ticket, the sooner I'll come running back to you. Distracted from the night we had, sat down on the curb, nursing my homeland blues. Down on the curb and I'm nursing my homeland blues. My American soul gets lonely sometimes. I take a walk and it clears my mind, and I hold you tight to shake my homeland blues. Hold on tight just to shake my homeland blues. Then I got them homeland blues. Don't you know I got them homeland blues? Said I got them homeland blues. Try to tell you I got them homeland blues. Is where I left it, the sooner I'll come running back to you.
Would go to my new little four-legged friend. Now she loves my dog more than me. She loves my dog more than me. I love my dog and she loves my dog, but she loves my dog more than me. Burning with desire, when suddenly to my chagrin, as the fire got to stoking.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back. Let's see.
Here we are.
Here we are. Let me put it on
Give
gallery
the gallery view.
Thanks for coming to the after party, y'all. I see some very familiar faces.
So that's Christy,
Brandon,
huh?
are they? There she is. Brandon, are they muted or what are we doing? I can't remember. What's the plan?
So everybody's muted right now, minus the performing artists. But I'll unmute if you guys do a Q&A. I'll unmute whoever you ask.
And will you unmute them to let them clap too a
Yes.
little bit if they want?
Yep.
Okay, great.
Hi, Yossi.
Are we unmuted?
You are. Hi, Emily.
Oh, hi. Hello.
Hi,
Sorry, I
Amy.
thought we were muted. We were probably mumbling weirdly.
No, I
No,
just
no.
unmuted you just a second ago.
Oh, wonderful.
So, Emily Jeanne Brown, welcome to the party. Say hi to Amy. I know you guys got to meet during sound check, but
Hi, Amy. Great job. That was beautiful.
Thank you.
We were in and out during the set, kind of getting everything ready here, but it's so fun to be part of this, and I love how there's a community space involved. So, thanks for including us.
Oh, it's our pleasure. I was just my friend Emily, for those of you who have not heard her sing before, she has recently started putting out music for the first time releasing under your own name, right? Is that true?
Yeah,
So
the first time like on the streaming platforms and all the official nonsense.
So I'm just really excited for you. And Emily and I have been singing together, in fact, with our friend Christy, who's on the call
Yes.
right now. We sang in the Smithereens.
You
at
guys.
Smith, so
Sabrina. I was an OG Sabrina
You
at
were?
Amherst.
Oh my God, I
I
was
was
going to
the-
ask if you did a cappella, Amy.
I totally did. I did all of the acapella. I came over to the Smith acapella-thon or whatever the hell that was.
Oh my God.
And I used to arrange all this. I used to arrange all the songs and like,
I
Yeah.
bet. I never had that role. I just
Me
sang
neither.
the
I was too
alto part.
lazy.
I know. We were both too lazy.
I just sang what they taught me.
I was a control freak.
I always wished I had those skills, Amy. I never developed them. But you two are also both actors, and I just love how much, we all have in common. So I'm sure we'll get into that. But Emily, would you start us out with a couple songs?
Yes, we would love to. So I'm going to start with a song called Proud that is it's kind of a late night non-sober song to go on a veering away from the topic you guys were so eloquently discussing. But it's a song about sort of confronting the part of yourself that you know it's time to grow out of, but not really being quite ready to grow out of it yet. How does that guitar level sound?
Sounds good.
Cool. End of the night, riled up, turned on some song in my head, liquor on my breath. I don't wanna go home, not yet. I might destroy something. I wish you knew me better than you do. I'd do anything for you. I'm willing to be bad news just to get your attention. It's dangerous when I can see right through. Not proud, not proud, too proud to break out from it. Not proud, not proud, too proud to rise above it. Not proud, not proud to admit I kinda love it. Getting in trouble so I don't have to figure it out. your phone, but keep it in your mind. 'Cause this shit don't last forever, and it's hard to find. Well, they say hindsight's 20/20, babe, but I swear I'm going blind. So I keep crashing into strangers who are kind to me, and I treat them like old friends and family. But it's getting pretty lonely out here on Easy Street. Looks like time and all my pride might get the best of me. Not proud, I'm too proud to break out from it. Not proud, too proud to rise above it. Not proud, I'm not proud to admit I kinda love it. Getting in trouble so I don't have to figure it out. But I'm not proud. No, I'm not proud. Thank you.
Nice,
Wow,
Emily.
it's so nice to be able to play like live stream style with humans looking at you and clapping after you're done. Because usually there's that weird silence and you're like, okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm so glad you could be here. It's great to hear your original stuff.
Very
Haven't
nice,
heard that
Emily.
one. Yeah, beautiful.
Thank you. Well,
Hey,
I guess, sorry, go ahead.
Well, I would say you were doing a Broadway thing quite a bit, weren't you? And just really took this plunge into the singer-songwriter world.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't quite doing a Broadway thing, but I was doing an actor thing. I was doing a lot of regional theater, a lot of Shakespeare and some new work, new plays. I went to acting school. I got my MFA in acting. But you know, music and singing have always been a part of my life. I've been singing since I was really little, and that's really the thing that kind of brought me to acting in the first place. So yeah, so I kind of started playing music with a friend of mine named Julia Anrather, who was playing gigs in New York and around Brooklyn and stuff, and singing background vocals for her. And then I kind of got connected to just a community of musicians here in New York. And that's actually how I met Eric, who's going to play the next song with me.
Hey, Eric.
And yeah, so,
I'd say Eric made that guitar for you, right?
he sure did. Yeah, he's his sort of guitar repair and build business is called The Doctor's Office. And he's on, because he has a lifelong nickname that's Doc, because he's a fixie guy. Fixie guy and gear guy, but also obviously makes beautiful instruments. So he made this for me as a gift, which was
That's amazing.
quite stunning. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah. So
Cool.
I'm gonna hand it to him actually.
Yeah.
Try to do it gracefully.
That's hard to do that.
Yeah.
Kind of switch the instruments around. Christy Kennedy, I see you wearing your Alice Howe t-shirt. I just want to say she's repping right now, like a hardcore.
I also felt like I should be wearing my t-shirt because I got mine recently, and I just thought I would like hold it up because everyone should buy one. It's very cute.
I love you guys. Thank you.
Yeah.
Did you guys go to school at the same time?
Yes.
Ah.
Yeah. We all lived in the same house. We all lived
We
in.
all did. I know
yeah.
we're really having a moment here.
And Emily,
Thanks
where'd
for
you
being
get
a
your
part of
MFA?
this, everyone?
Where'd you get your MFA?
I got my MFA at the American Conservatory Theater in San Francisco.
I know people who went there, but 30 years ago.
Sure. It's been around for a while.
Yeah. I'm a different generation.
Yeah. So should we dive into the next one, Alice?
I can't wait to hear this one. I just want to introduce may I make one comment?
Please
about this
do.
song?
Please.
So I was listening to your guys' version of this song. I'm going to embarrass you.
Great.
And Freebo. I'm going to embarrass everyone. And I was playing it out of my computer, and Freebo was like, I just said, and I stopped it. I was actually kind of testing you. I was waiting to see what you would say. And it's this beautiful version of this song. And you said, wow, I just love how Bonnie sings that song. And I was like, that was not Bonnie, that was Emily. And he was genuinely shocked that it wasn't her. And I just, not that it's all about sounding like, but you just, it was just gorgeous. And I just,
it was a supreme compliment, believe me.
I take that as a huge compliment. Bonnie is actually kind of, I always think about Bonnie being like our overlap in sort of one of our overlaps in musical influences, because Eric is in more of like a rock, funk, I don't know, what's your world? Yeah. And I feel like my rock, pop, funk, and like my sort of influences are a little more like folky, rootsy. But Bonnie kind of like bridges between the two of us. So when he suggested this song, which obviously she didn't write, but you know, we listened to her version of it when we were prepping the cover. So
yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So this is Dimming of the Day. This old house is falling down around my ears. I'm drowning in a river of my tears. When all my will is gone, you hold me, sway. I need you at the dimming of the day. You pull me like the moon pulls on the tide. You know just where I keep my better side. What days have come to keep us far apart? A broken promise or a broken heart. Now all the bonny birds have wheeled away. I need you at the dimming of the day. Come the night, you're only what I want. Come the night, you could be my confidant. I see you in the street and in company. Why don't you come and ease your mind with me? I'm living for the night we steal away. I need you at the dimming of the day. I need you at the dimming of the day. Thank you.
Beautiful, Emily.
Beautiful.
Thank you so
guys.
much.
guys.
Thanks again
Yeah.
for having us. It's really fun to be part of this.
Oh yeah, so glad you could be here.
Yeah, don't go away. Stick
Yeah,
around, okay?
Don't go.
Oh yeah, we're gonna be here. We want to get all the inside chat.
Oh yeah. So it's beautiful and nice harmonies, Eric. Really
beautiful.
good guitar
He's
playing.
he's
Actually,
also a legitimate musician and artist, like in his own right. So this is Eric Mendelsohn. He's amazing. His band is called Pink Flamingo Rhythm Review, and it's very fun if you're looking for good party music. So just check it out too.
cool. And actually, somebody asked Eric what kind of pickups are on that guitar.
Oh yeah,
Everybody
they
asks
always
about
ask.
pickups, Yeah. They're TV Jones Gretsch style Filtertron pickups.
The person who asked said, "Are those TV Jones pickups?"
Hey,
So,
hey,
there
hey.
you
They
go.
are indeed.
Wow.
That was Vaughn, our cordial cable winner for tonight. So good eye.
Oh,
Nice.
and just to like totally shamelessly plug, he builds like custom guitars. So if there are people out there who are interested in something like that, definitely ask Alice, and I'd be happy to put you in touch.
Yes.
So yeah.
Plug away. That's
Would,
great.
would they
good.
get would they get the Alice discount?
Well,
mean, you
maybe we can work something out.
Anything is possible.
I don't know.
I want to actually give our audience a chance to come in and say hi to Amy or to us and to say hi and ask a question. Did anybody who's in the Zoom right now have a question for
Or a
one of us?
comment?
Or a comment or just want to say hello?
Just
Don't have to have a
raise
question.
your hand.
Raise your hand. I'm looking at you. Don't all talk at once now.
I'm just saying hi to Joe and Sue, who I've known for so long. It's so good to see you
and
guys.
Sue.
Hey. Properly dressed.
I love it. You've got my new T-shirt on, Joe.
I've got your new t-shirt.
Oh my God.
Totally representing the new record, y'all.
Oh, that's
Love
great.
it.
I love it. It's
Sue,
good
you-
to see you.
You too. I haven't seen you since you handed me a present for Huck. So yeah,
14 now? No.
yeah, no, almost 3 on
He's-
14.
He's adorable. I love
Thank
your
you.
postings.
Oh, thanks, guys.
Well, I'm glad it's even between 2 T-shirts. Of
Yeah,
Amy's
exactly.
Yeah, right.
Alice.
Who's winning?
Emily, put it on.
I know. I should just put it on over my other shirt. I'm gonna do it. This is real. This is a real fan right here.
All writers unite.
Oh my God. Yep. Joe,
A little
it's
tight,
nice.
but
I know. I was gonna say with those sleeves, that's a lot. Get those sleeves in there.
Yeah, it's a little chillier here with the t-shirt.
I know. What are you doing? It's freezing in Chicago, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Love it. Love it, baby.
Are you right in Chicago, Joe, or outskirts?
Yes,
The
right in the
last-
heart of Chicago.
Last time we saw you, Joe was at the Hey Nani. We saw Joe
Right.
at Hey Nani. He came. That was right before. Gosh, that feels like
Right, shortly before we shut down. Yeah.
100 years ago. Oh my
Yeah, it
gosh.
seems like it now.
Yeah.
But I think it's actually colder in South Texas than it is in Chicago right now, isn't it?
No, we've got all the
don't know.
snow. We
It's
just get
colder
about
in
3
Nashville.
For here, it's snow.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Well, I did have a question in the chat, Amy, for you then that I'll ask. Vincent was wondering which song of yours Judy Collins recorded and just wanted to hear about that.
Oh yeah, it's called "The Weight of the World," and it is a song that is told through the perspective of a little girl whose brother goes off to the Afghanistan war, and yeah, and so she sang that and recorded it on her record, her Paradise record. Actually, I'm really excited because that's like my only famous person who's covered my songs. Well, Red Molly, they're kind of famous as well, but I mean,
Yeah.
really, really, really famous. And I have 2 neighbors, Steve Poltz, who with Jewel wrote the big Jewel hit. I can't remember the name of it. And and Scott Sachs, who wrote a huge hit for Faith Hill. And they have a podcast called One Hit Wonders. And they've invited me to be on their podcast. And so I feel like I'm going into the One Hit Wonder fame. So I'm pretty
That's
excited.
great. Excellent.
How did your work begin with Judy? You met her when long time. I mean, she signed you, you said.
Yeah,
so-
2005. This is the prime example of never turned down a gig. I was I was invited by a gentleman named Troy Campbell, who's a great singer-songwriter from Austin, to come to South by Southwest, not to play a showcase, but to play in the Starbucks. And Judy Collins' manager was going to get a frappa latte, macchiato, whatever, and heard me singing. And she came up to me and she said, you know, my boss, like she didn't tell me anything, just my boss would really love what you're doing. Do you have a demo? And I was working on a record in Hoboken, New Jersey. That's where I was living at the time. And I gave her like the 5 songs and didn't think I'd ever hear, I had no idea who she was. She just said her name was Catherine. And about 2 months later, I was playing at, I don't know, it was the Bitter End or someplace like that in New York City, probably the Bitter End or the Living Room. And in walked that woman, Catherine, and behind her was Judy Collins, who's unmistakable when she walks into a room. And Catherine introduced me to Judy, and I was just like jaw dropped, couldn't believe it. And she said, Judy just came up to me and she said, I love your record and I want to put it out on my record label. Can you come with me to Minnesota to do a gig next week? And that's when I quit acting.
Oh my God.
Wow. Yeah. So it was really random. It was like, and here's the other funny thing, like for about 5 years before that, it was the Lilith Fair time, and I was being courted by some major labels, Atlantic and Mercury and places like that. And they, like, all these A&R guys in New York were taking me out to these like super expensive dinners and giving me their cell phone number and then never calling me back. Like I was like, I'm going to get a demo deal. I'm going to get a deal. I'm going to get a deal. And then they wouldn't call me back. And finally somebody said, well, we really love your songs, but your voice is kind of Joan Baez, Judy Collins. And it's just, you're going to have to get rid of that vibrato because you sound way too much like Judy Collins. So the fact that Judy Collins herself is the one that came and found me and said, come along for the ride, was like a weird God moment for me. And when I asked her, is my vibrato too much? She said, tell them all to shut up and just sing.
Yes.
So, I love her.
Don't you love that? Like, oh, we can't have another girl that has vibrato because we have a girl that does that and it's Judy. So you can't do that. And it's like,
you got that with Yep Rock Records, right? Was it Yep Rock? Somebody said, well, we can't have you.
Well, there's always that. It's like we have another person who's a girl who sings.
Yeah, they don't say that to men. I'm just throwing it out there. They don't like. I remember a booking agent in England was like, "I can't take another girl. I can't put another girl on my roster that plays acoustic guitar." And it was like, "Yeah, but if it was a dude, you would take him."
Right.
So
I know that like girl with a guitar thing. It's like,
Amy, you said a couple times, but now that I recollect a little differently, and that I know that it was not Kerrville, the first time, and I who knows whether it was in the hall or the folk line.
poor Freebo. Every time you try to tell people on our show like where you met them, they correct you.
I didn't know that.
True.
That was.
He's like, I remember, and they're like, actually,
yeah, no, you don't remember the first time. Yeah.
In light of full disclosure, no, it was at the bitter end. Jim Photoglow and I. It was like a Monday night or a Tuesday night, and you were doing a solo thing, and Jim and I were doing a duo thing. That's the first time I'd heard of you that I remembered, unless I'd run to you at Focaline before that, and that would have been sometime around 2005, something like that.
Yeah, that's when I was playing, and I remember it because I had heard of Photoglow, and of course I knew your name as well, and then I think I saw you guys at Falcon Ridge that year as well.
Right, emerging artists.
Yeah.
You were emerging?
I know, I thought that was so funny.
Yeah, well,
like
it was
Freebo is emerging.
Yeah,
emerging into a new form.
And we didn't win.
Well, you know what?
Obviously didn't emerge.
My dear friend Craig Carruthers, who's a hit songwriter in Nashville, was an emerging artist one year, and we were all like calling bullshit on that one too.
I love
so.
it. It's
It's a popularity contest.
At any
really.
age, it's not even fair to say that you were entering a new phase.
That's
yeah,
right.
you guys were doing a new thing for both of you because Jim had never done that. So.
No,
Yeah.
it's true. It's true. Alice, I see you have your guitar.
Yeah,
you think
I
about
thought
playing
I
a
would
song?
play a song.
I
Since
guess
I am
I
a
should
girl
pick
with a
up my
guitar.
bass, huh?
Yeah, you should.
And if I pick it up, I should probably play it.
But you're a girl with red, cool hair with a guitar. It makes you completely different from those of us with the blonde, straight hair with a guitar. There's too many of us.
I'm thankful for the hair. If I ever cut it or dyed it, I don't think I would be recognizable anymore. Thank you, Amy.
Yeah, jealous.
No. Thank you. Well, I think I'll play a song that I'm gonna play to my audience here. I know Christy loves this song, so do this for you.
And she has her Alice
It's
House
not
on.
the one that you think. It's the other one that you love.
She only loves two.
She only loves two. She loves two.
Well, at least she loves some of them. That's good.
Just in the mood for this one. It's been a little while.
The night is louder than it's been before. I hear it knocking on my walls and doors, saying soon enough it's time to go. But these precious hours, I keep you close. Of all the nights in recent memory, there were so many you were far from me, and I just heard my heart keeping lonely time, wishing yours was there to echo mine. If the papers would print old news, they'd say I'm still in love with you. Let the years go by, it remains the same. What we've got is gold, and what it's worth won't change. Well, I fear I turned you upside down when I tore you from your hometown, just to make you wait at home for me and keep this fire alive tirelessly. But if your patience ever reached an end, tell me, baby, what would I do then? Say that it's all right to ease my mind, though you told me so 1,000 times. If the papers would print old news, they'd say I'm still in love with you. Let the years go by, it remains the same. What we've got is gold, and what it's worth won't change. All along the road, these faces seem to come and go, but yours, my love, will never fade. If the papers would print old news, they'd say I'm still in love with you. Let the years go by, it remains the same. What we've got is gold, and what it's worth won't change.
Thanks, you guys.
That's my favorite song too.
Oh,
It's so good.
thank you.
I have to sing along with you.
Oh, I wish
Did
I
you
could've-
see me?
I was singing
I
with
did.
you.
I did.
And Yossi.
guys.
Yossi was singing
Yes.
too.
Hi, Yossi. It's
Yossi,
so nice to
sorry.
see you. Yeah, she was humming and like I could see your face like really feeling it. It's so nice to see everybody's faces. Hi. You know, I'll just mention that I did make a music video for that song that I'm really proud
Beautiful.
of. If you
Yeah.
guys want to go to YouTube and just look up What We Got Is Gold, there's a video I did in one shot where I'm really hamming it up for the
It's
camera.
honestly a masterclass in acting. Just I'm gonna put that out. It's very good camera work.
Thank
You're
you,
so
Emily.
present. I love that video.
Thank you. Thank you. That means a lot. I felt like it that was my first time, like when I saw that I was like, ooh, maybe I don't know. Maybe you acting girls can tell me how to get into that world because I don't know anything about it.
Well, there's not a whole lot right now.
It's so I hear. Does anyone else in the audience want to ask Amy a question or say hi or
Before Amy plays another song,
yes?
or
Let me get ready.
or a request perhaps from those Amy fans.
Storm, yes. Hi. Please unmute. Nice to see you.
Unmute yourself, Storm.
There he
we
is.
I
go.
just want to let you all know that the Pioneer Valley is represented here. I went to Hampshire and I live in Greenfield.
Woo! What's going on with Hampshire? Is it still going
Still
on?
here.
Good.
Still
I
going.
read all about how it was about to close down.
It was horrible. It came really close and we found
Yeah.
out that UMass had all sorts of devious plans, even more than we knew.
Those Zoom masters.
What were they gonna do to you? Were they gonna shut it down?
They were going to shut the college down, take the buildings, and yeah.
It's terrible.
Oh my god.
I think
Yeah,
Ken Burns was in Nashville, and he was talking to some people I know about it because Ken Burns is a Hampshire grad, and he kind of got involved. Yeah.
I had some very interesting nights in Hampshire.
I went to a Trip or
That's all I'll say
Treat.
about that.
I went to Trip or Treat. It was my first mushroom experience, and it was super fun. Just saying.
Yeah.
I don't know if they still had it, but
I just remember people had things there that they didn't have at Smith. We didn't.
What does that mean?
I just know that they didn't make it all the way over to the other side of the valley.
Oh.
Hampshire was a wild time. Anyway.
There we go. Okay. Yeah, I was actually there when Ken was there.
were you really? Yeah.
I didn't
When
know
I-
him that much because he was on the film side and I was on the video side. But
When I was at Amherst, one of Dylan's sons was in Hampshire. So
Wow.
yeah.
Wow. I didn't know that.
when I was there, Harry Belafonte's daughter was there.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Yeah. And Oscar Hamilton's
Oh my
grandson.
God. Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
We could talk. I have so many famous people that I went to Amherst with. It was fun. I was a public school kid. Like, what am I doing here?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I grew up at Woodstock Country Day School where Pete's kids went. Pete's
Oh,
kids.
yeah.
And I had Carolyn Langstaff as my babysitter. And at the time, her nickname was Sunny. So you had Sunny babysitting Storm.
That's great.
That's funny.
Well, thanks, Storm. Hey, Amy, there was a request for you don't have to follow it, and you might be ready to do a song, but somebody did ask if you can do Shotgun Hearts.
Oh,
or-
yeah.
Oh, okay, great,
Why not?
cool.
Let's see where my voice is tonight. This ice storm, it's killing all of us. We do not know how to do snow and ice in Nashville. This is going to be on the new record. It's, you know, I lived in New York City for 20 some years, and I have rarely written about New York. I'm just not really a place writer. I'm more of an emotion writer and images. But I was in New York City probably last year and riding the subway train. And just it brought back to all of you 29-year-olds and theater buffs, it brought back all of my 25-year-old off-Broadway guerrilla theater crush moments. So I'm going to put this down so that you can hear the guitar. I'll just lean down into the mic. There's a man with your eyes sitting on a subway train. I want to ask him if he remembers my name. Across from me, riding the F downtown, staring ahead through the doors to the blur underground. I see you with your hazel wink and your Cheshire grin. Me where the ring I removed left a groove on my skin. Pressing your back against mine once we were alone. Guessing a promise of some more real than I've known. Shotgun hearts. Now Delancey and broom and a bottle of single malt scotch. There were holes in the night to fall in where the spin wouldn't stop. Yeah, we wanted the cobblestone streets in our costume skin. Late for our lovers and lying about where we'd been. Oh, we were young and high in a 3 a.m. world, running against our dreams before they could start. It was a moonless sky, a one-time swirl, running head over heels in the night, making love in the dark with shotgun hearts. So you never grow old, never change, you just stay 25. Breathing your name down my neck as I ride this line. There's a really good guitar solo in here by Will Kimbrough. Plays with Emmylou, and my dream is to sing with Emmylou. Oh, hold on, I forgot the last. Hold on, I got the lyrics here because I always forget lyrics. Just stay with me there. So now I know it's not you. It's been years since I've seen your face. Surprising what comes back to haunt when you visit a place. That night when the same train spun like a tilt-a-whirl. Don't call me. Maybe I'm riding it just to remember that girl. Oh, we were young and high in a 3 a.m. world, running against our dreams before they could start. It was a movie.
was a man with your eyes sitting on the subway train.
Guys. My producer called me in the middle of that song, and I was like, I thought I had my phone off.
I'm so glad that that was requested because that is
Beautiful
killer.
song.
I love
That was great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Wow.
Emily, were you like relating to the New York vibe?
Oh, I'm unmute. Oh, you can unmute me. Cool. Oh my gosh. Yes. All
He's
yes.
got the power.
Oh man. I kind of miss riding on subways right now though.
Have you not this whole time pretty much?
I have like 3 times, but I've mostly tried to avoid it because he has a car.
I
So
haven't.
Oh, okay.
you haven't.
I haven't been on the subway.
He hasn't been on the
like
subway in
more
like
than a year.
a year, yeah, or almost a year,
Yeah.
which is crazy because it's like
That
the
is-
life blood. Although for you drive anyway, but
Yeah, but I take a train.
Yeah.
No, but with COVID, I mean,
That's
I
just
can't
the worst
imagine
place to
getting
be,
on
I
a
guess.
subway.
Yeah.
people do it. People who have to work do it, you know, because
Yeah.
it's the only way to get around, and they just sort of try to, you know, double mask it. And but you know, if you can avoid, if you have the privilege to avoid it, you
Well,
you
and
do.
that's the problem with the inequities in the society is that
Yep.
you know the people who have to work are the ones who are more exposed and the ones
Absolutely.
who get it more. It's just a metaphor for the whole society, really.
Yep.
Emily, there was a question for you. Jason was wondering when you're going to put out a physical CD of your releases.
Oh, a physical CD. Wow.
Or like vinyl. I don't know. Maybe we
Oh.
don't do CDs anymore. Do we do CDs anymore? I am.
Some people do. I you know, it's so funny because I tried to put as a thoughtful gift a couple years ago, I like did a little scratch recording of like a few little Christmas tunes and I was going to give it to my family members on a CD. And so I did that only to realize like even my grandma doesn't have a CD player right anymore. Like she's like, we listen to Alexa. So it's just like, but I actually am kind of, I released a cover of I'm on Fire by Bruce Springsteen back in December, then one original. So I've released like 2 singles on the streaming platforms. And then I have another song that's going to be coming out in the next month or so. And I have plans to record a full album after that. So it's still in the early stages, but hopefully it will happen in the next year. So if you like it, if you like what you heard, I would love to have you follow all the links that I'm sure Brandon has provided.
He has.
There will be updates.
Great.
Amy, is yours coming out? I mean, what formats is yours coming out? Are you coming out on vinyl, CD?
Yeah. Yes.
All of the above?
I've been putting out vinyl since my 2013 record, That Kind of Girl. So I'll have 3 titles on vinyl. For this one, it comes out April 30th on CD and vinyl. The digital singles have already been released. So I've got last month, There Used to Be Horses was released and the video. And this month was Shotgun Hearts for Valentine's Day with the video. And next month, so we're doing 4 singles. And then I have, this summer I wrote an EP. It was supposed to be an EP and now it's a record called Tucson. And that's coming out in October on Proper.
Wow.
So I recorded
Man, you
that.
are prolific.
It's great. I'm just bored, but I recorded that during COVID with Orphan Brigade, and we did it. They were all masked, and I was in an ISO booth. But we did that in one day. We did 7 songs in one day because we were just like we didn't know what it was going to be. I just had all these gospel songs, you know. And I just wanted to get them out, and then I listened back, and I did two Springsteen covers on them. One will be on the record, the other we're going to release for record store day in April. But yeah, so I've got that coming out. That'll probably, I think Tucson is going to be only vinyl and digital, so it'll be a limited edition vinyl with digital.
Oh, cool.
What Springsteen covers did you do?
I did My Father's House for the record, and I've rewritten Nebraska from the point of view of the girl.
Ooh,
so I've done that.
That's so funny that
really
that
cool.
we both did that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not that funny, but it's cool. I want to listen.
They're good songs.
They
Oh,
are.
and Jason, you're such a good he's such a wonderful music fan. Jason's in the Zoom. Amy, he just bought your 5 CD set and your new record.
Oh my
and
God.
t-shirt,
Thank you so much. When I can get out of the snow, I will send it to you, but I'm stuck right now.
Well, you guys, this is just beautiful to see everybody and get to talk with you. And
sure is.
Did anyone else want to say anything before we have Freebo do one more song? And does anyone want to say hi, or you all just happy to be? Oh, yes, wait, Thomas.
Yeah, Thomas?
Talk to me.
Hey, Thomas, welcome back.
There he is.
Good to see you again.
Thank you all. Listen, it's been really nice tonight, and to hear, Freebo and Alice again is great. And Amy, to get turned on to you. Your voice is beautiful, and the words to your song. So thank you. And it's funny, Amy, while you were singing the Shotgun song, I was like, wow. I mean, I said, I wonder what Bruce would sound singing this.
Ooh.
I swear, I thought that Bruce should be singing that too. I mean, this sounds great.
Oh, it would be so good.
Yeah.
Your lips to God's ears, my friend. I would totally kill for that.
Well, it's really funny. I mean, I was thinking that, and I had no idea anybody on this area had even know Bruce existed. Anyway.
Oh my God.
And then Emily, you, oh man.
Well,
Emily,
Susie Terrell, his fiddle player, played on 2 of my records, so I felt like I was 1 degree from Bruce, which was really freaking cool.
You want to be 1 degree from Bruce. That's. I mean, or no degrees, but
Just want to be
1
on
degree
top
is
of
good.
him. Come on. Let's be honest.
and Emily, you guys sounded great too. You and Doc there. Oh my God. And Doc looks like he has hands of gold, right?
He
All right,
does.
one random question, and then I want to hear Freebo, but just curious, you guys have, a lot of you musicians or whatever, and maybe people on here have spent time in New York, and I'm living in the suburbs of New York, and a lot of people I know have random Chinese restaurants that they've gone to for years at 3 a.m. So do any of you musicians have that from your days of
Like a favorite late night spot?
You mean
yeah,
now
like
or
we just
then?
The Chinese food restaurant that's closest to the bodega underneath my apartment is my favorite Chinese food restaurant, which would be, I lived in 7 apartments in New York, but it was always the one that did the best mushu pork.
Oh,
I
okay.
love Mushu. Mushu's
My
favorite.
favorite. And Nashville does not know how to do Chinese food or bagels.
Oh, yeah.
Do not move here if you love bagels.
And
Oh.
Emily, what neighborhood are you guys in?
We're actually in Bed-Stuy now. We've been here since August. So we're in Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn.
We had that. What's that Chinese restaurant we went to? We kept on getting takeout from when we were in Crown Heights.
Chinese?
Yeah, we were
Or
at the
Thai.
Bok Choy.
Oh, that was not in Crown Heights though. We were really into like, what's it called? Szechuan style Chinese food. And we ordered, I don't even know what the place was. The sad thing is we ordered takeout and we just did it via an app. So I don't even know the name of the restaurant, but there was wasn't there like kind of a popular, did you ever go to that like Pakistani, this is not Chinese, but did you go to the Pakistani deli that was like across with the counter across from Rockwood Music Hall? Or was it or Mercury Lounge? It was across from Mercury Lounge.
Yeah.
That place is like a mom and pop place. I don't know what it's called, but there was an article about it because I think they were like having trouble with rent, and it's been there for years and years. And it's like a counter, and you can go it's like 24 hours. You can get like curry at 3 a.m. after you play a gig.
Starving. All
I
these
am
people are writing-
starving.
And the thing is, like, the only way to get Chinese food in Nashville is DoorDash, and like everyone's car's iced in, and I'm dying.
Oh,
You guys,
man.
shut up! I just want mushu
we
pork
can't.
and dumplings
I
right now
know.
so badly.
I'm thinking of Genghis Cohen.
There's a
That's
place
what
in
I'm-
LA
Oh
called
yeah, that was my
Genghis
first LA
Cohen.
gig.
Yeah, you probably played
It's
here.
awesome.
And they've got the
Totally.
best. We actually got mushu, 3 flavored mushu.
Oh,
With
God.
The chicken, the shrimp.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, it was
Fancy.
great.
Yeah, I want to order food now.
That was
I
my
know,
first.
I'm like-
that was my
I'm thinking-
first LA gig
Yeah.
ever, and I loved that place.
Genghis Cohen is
Yeah,
great.
Genghis is
I
great.
did a little like band show there before COVID, and it was the best. It's like it reminds me. Sorry, this reference is probably not gonna. Never mind. I'm not even.
Oh, come
gonna,
on.
Does it? I don't even.
Don't even think.
Has anyone ever read the comic book Tintin? No.
Yeah,
Okay,
well, no,
Jason
but
just-
I know what that is.
Okay, well, there's just one where it's called the Blue Lotus, and he like goes and busts an opium den. Anyway, that's what I picture.
That's the
Khan
vibe.
like. It's like a cartoon of a place that is a Chinese restaurant, and
Yeah.
it's just perfectly
you
like,
guys-
has that. Go ahead.
Do you guys play McCabe's? Because that's my current LA favorite
Yeah.
place to
Yeah.
play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just did that. Actually, we did a virtual show, a COVID virtual show.
But I did my
there.
album release show there here.
And
I
I
love
did
that
my-
little tiny place. It's
It's
just
great.
so.
We
Hey,
got to see
those
Jackson
walls,
Brown
those
there.
walls have
Like,
some serious music in them.
I mean, and when Jackson did that show, just with like, it was a small show. It's just so cool.
It's so
like,
tiny. I
it's
played there with
right
Tom
there.
Paxton the night before the world shut down, and had to fly back with mask and all that stuff. But like, I couldn't believe that place. I was just so stunned by it.
I'm surprised it was your first time there, but that's a venerable
Yeah, that's-
venue. But been there like for
I don't
over
get to
50
LA
years.
that much. I've just not played California. I've like played Freight and Salvage twice, McCabe's once, Genghis
Come
Khan
on out here.
once.
Let's do something.
I know. I got to get out. I'm
If
lazy.
and when that happened, please get in touch.
I will
And
absolutely.
Amy, while you're there, I'd like to introduce you to Mike Smith from Cordial, who's
Yes.
down there in the corner. You see him there?
Hey, Mike.
Thank you
because
for
he-
the cables, my friend. I'm excited. Cable.
They're great.
You are quite welcome. We're happy that they get out and get played.
Yeah.
Sue has one, and then of course Freebo and Alice have all kinds of them now, all different
Yeah, a
colors
lot.
of the rainbow.
All our cables are Cordial.
Yeah,
You guys are
except
so
the
good
one
to
you
us.
cut in half with the stool, huh?
Yeah, we don't.
I
talk
still
about
have that. Do you want it back?
We had just
you
finished
can
talking about
give it a
how
proper death.
like how amazing they were, and then Freebo looked down and had sliced his in half.
He's
Oh boy.
On camera. It was
It was a
not, like,
classic
the
moment.
greatest timing.
We
I've
still
never done
laugh
that
about
before.
that one.
Yeah,
I love it.
never
A
done
great
that
show
before.
tonight, everybody. It was really wonderful, Amy. I love your voice and the way it works with your guitar and your keyboard as well. And then Emily and Eric, that was some nice stuff too. And I'm gonna find out more about your guitars because that blue guitar is gorgeous. I
It
love
really
it.
is nice.
Yeah,
Oh, nice. Glad we got to showcase
quite
your
beautiful.
It's
Both
always
of
a
your work.
guitar ad up in here.
I don't
I
even
say-
care what guitars really do. What color is it?
I know I'm the same. I am the same way. I'm actually going to check out
Tomorrow.
I'm going to the Music Man Ernie Ball showroom tomorrow to like look at stuff, and I am very excited. I've never had an electric before, so this will be.
Baby
But the
blue.
reason
You
I
have an
want
electric
it-
guitar?
I am
She's
gonna
getting
get
an electric
one.
guitar.
Oh yeah, I
But
went
the
there.
reason I'm yeah, it's like
What happened to you there, Amy?
Yeah, what happened when you went
Welcome to
there?
the
Yeah, because I used to have a Strat and I sold it for a Les Paul, which was way too heavy for me. And I
Oh,
sold
yeah.
then a Gretsch. I was like, what am I doing with an electric guitar? I'm such a folky. But then I bought myself like an old Gibson archtop that has like tremolo on
Half of
it, and it. Oh my god. I haven't brought it on the road because it's like,
yes.
how many guitars can you bring on the road with you? But like,
All of them.
He would bring all of them.
look at that, Mike. Look at that.
Mike,
Let me
what
bring
is
that back
you
up.
have there?
Ooh.
Is that the ocean?
Now it's turning into guitar time.
I
This
know.
is
Now we're
like-
being geeky.
That's a
built it.
pretty rock and roll one. What
is
is
it a-
that?
Is
Yeah,
it
it
some
is.
sort of
It's
a
from my
telly?
rock and roll days. I built that. I built it from an old piece of junk
That's not a
body. and
telly,
added the
yeah.
part. I really like that part of it, Eric.
Oh, wow. That ain't a telly.
No,
Very unique.
2 on the
stuff.
top, 4 on the bottom.
Oh,
That's
So cool.
unusual.
Love it.
I built it.
very cool. Very cool.
I
It doesn't sound as good as yours, though.
the Ernie Ball stuff. I mean, I've been friends. I'm going to name drop. I actually got to know Ernie Ball himself, and his sons, his whole family are friends of mine, and they sponsored me with Music Man. Ernie Ball bought Music Man years ago, and gave me this bass. A couple of them. I've been playing it ever since. I will not sponsor anything that I don't really love, like Cordial cables, Mike. But Alice had been talking about wanting to get an electric guitar. So we talked about tellies and everything.
And I'll be honest, I was totally just talking about the fact that it was green and sparkly.
Well,
so
we saw one at the NAMM
it's
show.
gonna match
and,
my coat.
And so we've been kind of following through. So tomorrow she actually gets to play. It's called a Valentine, Music Man Valentine.
Named after the guy from Maroon 5, which I'm not like super into that, but I guess he's good. So
But
let's just pretend it's not named after him.
yeah, I know.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
a Valentine, like a nice. You know.
Ooh,
But
that's
got-
pretty.
gotta-
Love guitar.
Yeah, he's got this beautiful green color and so custom made. So we're excited about that.
I'll let you guys know how that goes. Freebo.
Take pictures.
I will.
Yes,
I am excited.
absolutely. What is that you have there, David? What were you showing?
Oh, his coffee. Oh, the other giveaway. Yep. We were
from-
giving away
Ari's,
coffee for a
Ari's
while
Coffee
too.
Roaster. Yeah, we have
need a
it.
new we need another little treat maybe to find to give away.
Yeah.
Hey,
Well, you guys-
Alice and Freebo, any chance you could get Christy Kennedy to give us 20 or 30 seconds of vocals?
Oh yeah, Journey.
Oh my gosh.
Not happening. Not happening, Thomas.
Come on.
I appreciate the sentiment, but I am in no way. I was like
Just-
dreading that actually. That question. It's not happening. It's not happening.
Wanting more. Leave them wondering.
The mystery will be eternal. Just
Christy's
can't give it all away right now.
Just imagine Christy singing, belting out Journey's "Can't Stop Believing." Wait, no.
It's Don't Stop Believing, Alice.
Sorry.
Come on.
Oh my God.
How many times did we sing that damn song?
Yeah, it's epic.
My part in that was so awful that I just like
Sing that real quick. Come on.
That's what it was. Just
totally a cappella.
Yes.
for like
Yeah.
just for like 5 minutes straight. It was rough, but your vocal was amazing.
Don't Stop Believing with
Thanks,
acapella.
baby.
I'm super jealous.
Oh,
It was pretty cool.
I don't think anyone has a recording of it, and I'm not upset about it.
It was great.
But thanks, Thomas. I appreciate it. Maybe sometime in life, but maybe not tonight.
Love you, Christy. Well,
Well, I guess it's time for
been a great
me to play a
night.
song and take us out.
Take us
I will
out,
say
Freebo.
that of the several colleges I went to, one was University of Pennsylvania, and I was in the Glee Club.
Oh.
And, the Glee Club.
The Glee Club.
Yes, and then there was the shoot-off group, the prime group of that, the Penn Pipers.
Oh.
There were 12 of us, and I was a bass. I love singing bass. A cappella group. I love singing a cappella harmonies. Just the best. Nothing like it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, love it.
It was fun.
So
It was fun.
just to get in with you guys.
Okay, you're in.
Am I in now?
Yeah.
Am I okay? Am I? Okay.
You can be part of the acapella crew.
Club.
Oh,
Yeah.
good.
I guess we're part of your crew, really, because you came first. But
Well, that's true. I came before all of you.
you were in
except for
Glee
maybe
Club
Storm
before
Hershey.
we were.
I've been gleeful for a long time.
Hey, listen, you guys,
right.
before you play your song, thank you so much for having me. I mean,
Yes.
Oh yeah.
this was so great. Freebo, I love you. Every time I see you, we go like straight into the deep ocean of like spirituality and conversation. I just adore you. And Alice, it's so great to get to know you. And I'm so glad we're all on the same booking roster. And hopefully someday we'll be able to do some shows together.
That
I'd
would be
love
great.
that.
That would
And
be
Emily,
great.
what a gorgeous voice. Dimming of the Day is one of my favorite Thompson songs. And
Thank
you're great.
you.
Yeah, you're a great player, Eric. It's just, it's such an honor to be in the same Zoom room with you guys.
Absolutely.
Back
Well,
at
thank
ya.
you,
Thank
Amy.
you.
Yeah, I agree with all those sentiments, and thank you for being. Alice and I were talking. We were saying this is our 22nd show.
23rd.
23rd. We both said it's absolutely one of our favorite shows. Just
Thanks for going
very
deep with
cool.
us, Amy. That's really
Yeah.
what we wanted
That's
to
just
do
who
with
I
this show.
am.
Yeah, that's what we wanted this to be, and,
Oh,
and to
thanks.
really talk and get real with our friends, and it's just so great to get to know you more. So thank you,
Inside. That's what we call it. Inside Live.
and thanks to
Oh.
Emily for being here. I'm so glad you could join us.
Yeah, thank you.
you.
Emily. You
And
sound great.
Eric.
Keep doing it.
Keep
you
going,
know,
yeah.
keep doing. Eric, you sound beautiful.
Yeah.
Great musician.
You guys are.
I can
Thank you so
can relate. I can relate to the role you're playing in this broadcast.
It's not always this way. Sometimes it's the
Hold
other
me
way.
down.
Oh, I know that. I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
You all sound
Well,
beautiful.
and thank you,
Thank you.
And thank you all for joining us. You know, on the Zoom, but also in the regular show. And tell your friends. We're thinking next week we don't have a guest. We're thinking maybe it's just gonna be Alice and me.
Yeah, we're
next
just
week.
gonna
Every once in a while we do that, and we kind of interview each other.
when we can't get
It's
anyone.
kind of bizarre. No, we've
No.
got tons of people who
We're-
lined up. We just didn't get anybody for next week.
We have
so.
tons of people waiting to know.
Okay, not
I'm
tons, a
joking.
couple pounds.
We
okay?
genuinely wanted to just do the show ourselves next week for fun. So
Yeah. And I'm going to do a birthday show on Friday the 5th of March. And I've already got Harold Payne lined up to be one
Harold
of my
is
guests.
amazing.
It's going to be a septuagenarian show. People in their 70s who are inspiring. We were talking about when you turn 50, Amy. Wait till you turn 70. That's really wild. But it's all about just keeping it together and doing what we love to do and staying vital and staying creative and doing what you love. I think that's what keeps us alive, right?
Yes. So that's going to be March 5th. Your
March
birthday
5th,
show?
Friday the 5th of
Cool.
March.
And great.
Are you a
And-
Pisces?
I am. I am
So am I.
fucking Pisces, man. Who's a Pisces?
Emily.
Is that Emily?
I am.
I didn't know
Oh, yeah.
that. Oh,
Yeah.
that's interesting.
It can be pretty
Pisces, Virgo rising.
Oh, good luck with that.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah. It can be so indecisive,
Yep.
On the other hand, we got great perspective.
And
My
deep
son- my s-
emotions.
My son is a Pisces. His birthday is March 16th, so I know he'll be a weeper.
You're just a little fish. Yeah.
I love that.
Weeper. Oh, and Emily, what was Eric's band name? Eric, what's your band name? We had a question in the chat about that.
Oh, it's Pink Flamingo Rhythm Review.
Nice.
If you want some like funk jams and you want to
Yeah.
dance around and
Wanna
like just
dance
be
around
happy.
some funky R&B.
Sounds like it's a fairly big aggregation. Do you have horns?
Well, no, the review, is a bit of a
It's a vision.
yeah, it's a vision of what could be more than what is. But no, we're usually like a 6-piece. No horns.
Cool.
I had a band back in the 80s called the Hollywood Rock and Roll Review.
Oh,
It was
love
like an all-star band. There were 14 of us.
Oh my God.
Five-piece horn section, and we did a show. We did a show at the Hollywood Bowl. I helped put it together. Actually, I put
Fun.
it together, and we backed Bonnie and Jackson Brown and Stephen Stills and Bobby Weir, and it was a no nuke show. It just.
Right.
But it was a kick-ass band, and it was a review. And when we do our own shows, each person would do a song or two, and it was just a whole lot of fun. It was real kick-ass. So when I hear review, I think
know, that's
kick-ass.
great.
Well, it is kick
It
ass
is
for sure.
kick-ass.
Even
That's for
sans horns.
Yeah. And believe me, I love an all-star band. So then as soon as I can make it an all-star band, it will be.
That's great.
Cool.
Love it.
Well, let me take us out with this song. It's I've just been thinking with all this cold where you're at, Amy, and I just talked to my brother in Houston, Texas. There's a ranch outside of Houston, and just talking about the so cold that the birds are actually coming up to them, because they're and I don't know if they wanted to be warm or they're looking for food, but apparently birds that I mean literally just coming right up to them. Birds are usually quite reclusive, and I was just thinking about all the homeless people, in this country, and how when it gets to be cold like that, especially in Louisiana and Texas, and I mean Tennessee is weird. Tennessee, some of the hottest days and some of the coldest days I've ever spent have been in Nashville. It's really bizarre weather, but I've been thinking about the homeless people, and my heart goes out to them. And I mean, politically the inequities, but just socially, just having to deal with that and doing the best you can. So I want to do the song I wrote with a friend of mine from Nashville, Karen Taylor Good. I don't know if you know her, Amy.
I do. She's wonderful.
She's great. She's a wonderful songwriter, and she and I have co-written quite a few songs together. And we did this one several years ago, and I turned it into a duet once Alice and I started working together. Figured we'll put 2 characters in this song. There's 2 characters anyway, but why can't one be a female? So I'd like to share it with you, and on the way out, thank you, Alice, for just being my partner in this, and it's just always a pleasure. And
I've been loving Inside Live. It's like my favorite thing that we've come up with this COVID time. It's like just so glad we got going on it, a couple months ago, and we can keep it going and get to connect with other artists and just it's just been so fun. been a great way to mark the week. It's like what I set my calendar by. So yeah,
I mean,
happy to be here.
Absolutely. And I'm thinking as soon as this is done, I'm going to pick up the phone, call Genghis Khan,
Oh my God,
and
we need
order some
Mushu.
Mushu
Like
pork.
we need Mushu. Like, can we call
Don't
now?
think about it.
Can you send it to Nashville?
Yeah, it might be a little cold by the time
Yeah,
it gets there,
Mushu for
but
all. Oh my gosh. All right.
anyway, we love you guys.
We love
and,
you. Yeah.
Thank you
Thank
so much.
you.
This song's called When There's No Place Like Home. Give me a second to tune up here. Get this capo off of here. Anything else to say to the folks, Alice? Or?
Well, just thank you all that have sent in a donation or a tip for tonight. We know it's a tough time for all of us to get by, and we really appreciate that so many of you have donated, and we are giving a portion of all the proceeds for all the shows in February to the Movement for Black Lives. Happy about that.
Used to be your neighbor. I had my job and I had my pride, but they shipped them both to China and it ripped a hole inside.
They took my house last summer. Now I'm hungry, cold, and scared. And I'm wondering, does anybody care? When there's no place like home,
And you're out on your own, you feel abandoned and alone. When there's no place like home. Used to be a hero, the strong, the proud, the few. When duty called, I stood up tall for the red, white, and blue.
but no hero's welcome waited when his damaged soul returned.
Uncle Sam don't give a damn, that's what I learned. When there's no place like home, and you're out on your own, you feel abandoned and alone. When there's no place like home. Please don't look right past me. A simple smile could help me make it through. I could be you.
If home is where the heart is, then where's the heart supposed to go? When your living room's a cardboard box and your address is Skid Row.
If a man's home is his castle and the place where he is king, what happens when he loses everything? When there's no place like home, and you're out on your own, you feel abandoned and alone. When there's no place like home. When there's no place like home. There's no place like home.
Yay.
Thank you. We love you all. These
Alice
shows are really
Freebo.
keeping me going.
Thank you, Thomas. Thanks, everybody. Thanks again,
Thanks,
Amy.
you guys.
Thank you,
Amy.
guys.
Thanks, Emily.
Thank you.
Emily.
Good to
This
see
was
you
the
all.
best.
Everybody.
Oh,
Do more.
Christy, love
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Bye, girls.
We're here every week.
Stay warm.
See you
I
all
just
next
put
Wednesday.
into the chat a link to another incredible song about homelessness written by a Zoom friend of mine, Cecilia Eng.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks,
Thank you, Storm.
everybody.
Thanks for joining us, man.
Thanks,
Really appreciate
Emily.
your
Love
support.
you.
Yeah, some other night I'll share my poem about homeless.
Oh,
Please
okay,
do.
great. All right.
Good night, everybody.
See you
Night.
next
See you
time.
next week.
Thank you, Amy. Thank you, Emily. Thank you,
Love to
Allison
all.
Freebo.
Everybody.
Thank
Our
you.
pleasure.
Thank you for being here. See you guys next Wednesday. Bye.